stage of the World Cup, you are within touching distance of getting to the final, of going all the way. The only thing that you could do, less than winning it, is obviously finishing as runner-up, but you are still at the dance. You are still at the main event. A lot of people might think that it hurts more to get to a final and lose. I saw England do that last year when they got to the Euro final and they lost. And honestly, just going the whole distance, being that whole journey all the way through, it's not as bad as what you think. Certainly not for me. I thought that I was just really proud that England had done that well and got that far and gone all the way to penalties in the final, like pushed it so close. So, getting to the final, I think, is such an achievement. And both of these teams are going to want to do that. Of course, if Messi loses and Argentina lose, that's Messi out. And I think a lot of people have got Messi down to win this World Cup now. I think since England-France ended, it seems like it's Argentina and France that are the two teams that people are looking at to get to the final. I think if you used to ask most people, what do you think the final's going to be? They'd say Argentina versus France. I think that there could be a swerve in there. It might not be the final we get. I don't know if it's going to be Croatia-France again, because we did get that last time. And so maybe Croatia find a way of getting to the final. Maybe Morocco find a way of getting to the final as well. I mean, I must admit, I think the perfect final would be, for me, maybe Argentina versus Morocco. That way you've got one of the big guns, because I think the world wants there to be a big team in the final. They want the big players. I think there was a lot of disappointment when Ronaldo went out, because I think a lot of people wanted Ronaldo to get to the final, and I think a lot of people wanted Messi versus Ronaldo. But Ronaldo's gone out. Portugal have gone out. And so I think people would like to see Messi try to win the World Cup that would make him arguably the greatest player of all time. And I think the Morocco story is just so good. It's so good. This team that no one picked. I mean, honestly, I don't even think Moroccan fans thought that they would get past the round of 16 in their heart of hearts. I don't even know if they thought they would get out the group. Of course, they hoped they would get out the group, and they hoped that they could get to the round of 16. But I can't imagine they really thought that they were going to be getting past the likes of Spain, and then saw Portugal and thought, yeah, we'll get past them after they beat Switzerland 6-1. And now here they are taking on France in the semi-finals. Like, I can't believe that they, in their wildest dreams, thought they would get this far. So could you imagine if they get to the final? It'd be absolutely insane. So I think that we're looking at something very interesting. I mean, we could be looking at the first African team to reach a final. We could be looking at Croatia getting back to the final. We could be looking at Messi against Mbappe in the final. There's so much stuff that's going on at the moment. There's so many different ways that this can play out that it is very, very exciting. You can see the team news as well up on screen. Of course, Messi is going to be playing in this game. Of course, we've got the likes of Modric and Perisic. Of course, they're playing as well. There's been some wonderful standout performances in this tournament from both sides. DePaul, I think, has played well. Enzo Fernandez has been really exciting. I think he's been putting in some great performances. McAllister as well has been playing very, very well. Of course, Messi has been the pick of the bunch. He has single-handedly at times got Argentina through certain tough games. So, that's quite interesting. And then over on the Croatian side, I mean, they've all just been standing up. I mean, every player has had to stand up. They are the epitome of a team. But then you do have a sprinkle in there of Perisic, of Modric, of Kovacic. Their keeper as well has been fantastic. So many different players to keep an eye on in this one. It's going to be a big match. It's going to be a fun match. And we're going to find out who's going to be the first team to get to the final. LFC says Messi is going to score today. He could do. He really, really could do. Let's get a poll up. We'll see what you lot think. I'm guessing most of you are with Argentina. Who do you think is going to the World Cup final? Who do you think is going to the World Cup final? Do you think it's going to be Argentina, or do you think it's going to be Croatia? Who do you think's going to the World Cup final? Right. But Messi is going to score today. What channel is it on? Here in the UK, I think it's ITV, but I don't know. I don't know where it is for everywhere else. It's an elephant, hippo, blue whale. Regarding Vinny, says David. Agreed. Croatia, France, 100%, says Peter. Bonkers said, what about Messi if about the team? What about Messi if about the team? Don't know what you mean. I mean, Argentina have been playing well. I don't think they've been playing amazing. They've been struggling at times in games, like against the Dutch, for example, against the Netherlands. They were so-so. I mean, that game went all the way to penalties, and Netherlands have not looked that great this tournament. But Argentina took all the way to penalties. Make no mistake about it, this could go to penalties. And Croatia could absolutely go through. This is like right there for Croatia. If Croatia can put in one of those battling performances again, we saw Croatia go to penalties against Japan. And Japan's penalties were awful. We saw them go to penalties against Brazil. And they got through that. Now they could go to penalties. They've got a blueprint, haven't they? They've got a blueprint. I just don't know how many times you can go to a penalty shootout and hope to get the result go your way. But that if that's their best chance, then maybe that's what they're going to look to do. Take this to penalties and run that risk. Hucky said 2-1. Messi is going to get one in extra time. Harith says, I hope Argentina win this game. Thoughts about Vince returning rumour? Haven't seen anything about it, so I can't say. It's going to be a tough win for Argentina, says Hamad. Jellyhead said, are you doing Raw tonight? That was last night. Kyle said, how did you do the scoreboard on the bottom of the screen? Just graphics. Just, I have to make graphics all the time. I have to make thumbnails. I have to do stream backgrounds. I have to do lots of different things. But this is just one that we had set up kind of already from the Premier League streams that we've already done. What could be bigger? Morocco winning the World Cup, Leicester winning the Premier League, or Greece winning the Euros? I think Leicester winning the Premier League is massive because that's over 38 games. I think with this, you've got to win, is it about 7? Or you haven't even got to win them. You can draw and then go through on penalties, of course. So I feel like if Morocco win the World Cup, that's bigger than Greece winning the Euros. Okay, so that's definitely above Greece winning the Euros. The question would be, what's bigger, Morocco winning the World Cup or Leicester winning the Premier League? Now, Leicester winning the Premier League is over months and months and months, and it's over 38 games, and they were 5,000 to 1 in order to do it. What was Morocco's odds when the World Cup started? Because the odds might actually give us the answer to this. So let's have a look. Odds on Morocco winning the World Cup. Odds on Morocco winning the World Cup. Let's see. Moroccan odds to win the World Cup. Morocco, when is this? When was this published? Oh, the 12th. You see, right now they are 9 to 1 right now, but that's right now. What were they I want to know what they were before the World Cup started. I need to know, about 2 weeks ago, what the odds were. Odds on Morocco winning World Cup before it started. 2 days ago, 1 hour ago, 2 days ago. I need to go like weeks ago. That's what I need. 1 day, 2 day. It's all 1 or 2 days ago, 10 hours ago. Blah, 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 blah. Freeway bet. No, they're just odds on the individual games. I did have a list of them all written down. I did have all the odds. I don't know if I've still got them. I don't remember any being 5,000 to 1, to be honest. But I don't have Morocco's written down, unfortunately. What I would say is, let me have a look at a team that's even worse. So, Morocco are 22nd in the world, okay? Ecuador, who are 44th in the world, they were 250 to 1. They were 250 to 1, and they were 44th in the world. Morocco are 22nd in the world, so I can't imagine their odds were worse. So I've got to think that their odds would have been about 250 to 1 as well. So Leicester's was 5,000 to 1. So just based on that, I'll say that Leicester was worse. Or what Leicester had a harder task. Theirs was a bigger achievement. That's probably a better way of wording it. Croatia haven't got a recognised striker, says Dylan. Bonkers said they were 100 to 1 before the World Cup. Right. Hello again. Got back from the Barber's Fortnight. Shout out to you. David says, R.I.P. college football coach Mike Leach. You were a unique man in a world of staleness. Dortnight said Morocco was 250 to 1 before the World Cup started. Thank you. So it's around that ballpark. So Leicester were 5,000 to 1, as you know, is quite famous. So I would say that Leicester would be the bigger achievement. But I really wouldn't want to take anything away from Morocco, because no one gave Morocco a chance. No one gave Morocco a chance. No one thought that they would get this far. And if they can get to the final, I would absolutely love to see it. I would love to see Morocco get to a World Cup final. They're already the first African team to get this far. So, you know, can they make that next step and make it to the World Cup final? We'll find that out tomorrow. Tonight is about Croatia and Argentina, and there's plenty of big name players, plenty of big stars on display. It's going to be a real battle in midfield, this one, and I think Argentina know that as well. You know, there's plenty of faces in that midfield. No Di Maria, for example. So they've gone with DePaul, they've gone with Fernandez, they've gone with McAllister, they've gone with Paredes. They've got some steel in that midfield to try and win that midfield battle, because you're going to need numbers. I really think if you pick any three of those to go up against those three in the Croatian midfield, I think they're going to get overrun. So it looks like they're going with a 4-man midfield. And so they're going to see if they can win that midfield battle. It's good strategy, in all fairness. It's a good strategy. That midfield battle is key for Croatia. They haven't really got much up front. Perisic is interesting, but you can see that the other two forward players haven't really got the best of numbers. Their defense is very strong, actually, Croatia. They do a really good job of defending, but I do wonder if there's going to be some tired legs there. And Messi's got the ability to unlock any defense anyway. So I don't think that defense is going to be too scary for Argentina. I do think that it's a very solid defense, but it's all about the midfield. It's all about that midfield battle. And by the looks of it, Argentina have put some numbers in that part of the pitch. Jay said Argentina are going to win this, and it's not even close. Jed said Argentina winning the World Cup, called it a week before the start of the tournament. Hamad said some of the Moroccans starting defenders might be injured and they might not make it for the France game. That's true. Easy99 said Morocco could win the World Cup by beating 5 nation teams. That was top 10, depending what the result is in the semi-finals. They're just showing the route to the final right now and how the different teams have made it there. Of course, this has already been a challenge for Croatia, having to come out of a group that featured Belgium, Canada. I mean, now you look back on that group, that was the real group of death. It didn't feel like it at the time, But that is now the real group of death. Canada, I believe, were the top qualifying team coming from North America. And actually, Canada looked really good at times. That game against Belgium, that's got to be one of the best performances that a team has had that have ended up losing, right? That team that Canada had put out against Belgium and the performance was really, really good. So Canada, certainly not disgraced, but now in reflection, just in a really tough group. Belgium, who finished third at the last World Cup, I know there's been a decline, but they're still a decent team. They're still a top team. So, you had Morocco in that group, they're a semi-finalist. You had Croatia in that group, they're a semi-finalist. You had Canada in that group who finished top of the North American qualifying. And then you also had Belgium, who finished third at the last World Cup and were many people's picks to not only get out of that group, but win the group. They were in that group as well. All of a sudden, you look at that group and it's like, man, there's no easy games there. The easiest game would probably be against Canada, but Canada showed they've got some real fight, real skill, real pace. They had the likes of Buchanan, they had Alphonso Davis, they had some decent players. And I think it's just really unlucky for Canada on reflection now that they went into such a very difficult group. So, I think that, Croatia had to come out of that. Then they had to beat a very game Japanese side that were a problem for a lot of teams. That one went the distance. Croatia just squeaking through on penalties. I mean, in all fairness, the penalties were quite comfortable, but, it was nervy getting there. And so they managed to make it through to that. Then they went up against the mighty Brazil, knocked out Brazil, which is one of the biggest shock results at this World Cup. Now they've got the opportunity to knock out Argentina. Are they going to do it? I mean, I have to think the people in Croatia are expecting to go home here. But who knows? Honestly, who knows? Are we just going to get both the favourites win in these two games in a World Cup that's had so many upsets? I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if we get the Argentina-France final. Or do we get like a shock in there somewhere? I think there's definitely a chance for a shock. Whether that comes today or tomorrow, don't know. I've got Argentina, but I hope Croatia can win, said Nadula. Moldy said, here's a big talking point. I've heard a few England fans saying Southgate has had enough chances and that he can't take England to the next step. Discuss. I think we've discussed that enough, to be honest. I think we've covered that one. Unbroken said, don't cry for me. Argentina was released on November 12th, 1996. 30 days between that and December 13th today. Maybe they're going to win. Zakaria said, it would have gone home if Days was playing for England. Absolutely. Unbroken says, blame Canada. No country has ever won a World Cup with a manager from another country managing them. Even Klopp and Guardiola don't win the Champions League every year. So they could get knocked out for England. Nadula said, do you remember back in 2018, Croatia beat Argentina 3-0? That's true. I think, though, obviously it's hard, isn't it, to compare like where we are 4 years on. It's definitely possible, though. It's definitely possible. I would imagine that the Croatian fans have probably gone into this game similar to the English fans, like borderline expecting that this could be the end, but hoping that it's not going to be. And, as you say, they can definitely take confidence from 4 years ago. Gravdiol is Croatia's top defender that is on form right now. He's only 20 and being targeted by big clubs. Chelsea is a club said to be interested. Well, I think these are average scores that are showing on page right now. They've got him as a 7.26. Very good for defender. Better than any of the starting Argentine defenders. And I think just a couple of points behind Lovren, but nothing in it. I mean, you could absolutely make the argument he is their best defender right now. And I didn't know he was 20, though. That's very interesting. Days, you would have scored that penalty. Totally, mate. Totally. I don't want to dwell on it. Zakaria said Argentina 3, Croatia 2. I'm going to say to give Southgate the Euros and then see how Eddie Howe progresses. And then if he fancies the job in a few years' time, said Dortmund. Sounds pretty good. I'm down for Eddie Howe being the next manager. I think he's done a fantastic job at Newcastle. Of course, things can go wrong within the next... It's only 18 months, though, isn't it? It's only 18 months. So who knows how things will twist and turn. It already seems like Graham Potter might be on his way out of Chelsea. There's rumours doing the rounds that he's pretty close to being sacked already at Chelsea. And he was only hired in, I think, September. So they think they've gone 5 games without winning. And I saw an article on it. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Graham Potter's going to be available soon. But, yeah, my feelings, as we said, we've discussed it. I think you let Gareth decide if he wants to. Because it's 18 months. So it's up to him. He needs to know if he's got the energy to go again. Because he's come out and said about the fact that Wolves and the reaction of the fans at Wolves, the stuff that gets written and the stuff that gets said, like it's having an impact on him. It's definitely having an impact. He's not immune to what's being said. He's not oblivious to what's being said. But he just needs to know if carrying on is the right thing for him, right thing for England, and if he's got the energy to do it. So I certainly hope that he's going to do that. 18 months to go till the Euros. England going toe-to-toe with France. I mean, we went at them and put in a great performance, but just wasn't clinical enough. And it's always going to be hard, isn't it, to teach that? It's always going to be hard to... That I think is... I was listening to Julien Laurent, who is a French pundit, French like analyzer of football. He was saying that, he can see where France were in 2014 in this England team. The pieces are there, but it's a little bit of confidence. It's a little bit of killer instinct. And that's something that teams do have to learn, is how to like really grab the other team by the throat and finish them. England had the opportunity to do that, but they just didn't get the goals at the key times. They didn't get the ball in the back of the net. Lots of chances, but didn't kill off the team. And you've got to learn to do that. Which is like easier said than done, isn't it? Really. I suppose the only thing is we've got a lot of youngsters. If you look at the likes of, I think Foden's 23, Saka's 22, Bellingham's 19. Put another 18 months onto those, 18 months onto Harry Kane's not a problem. He's only 29. So I don't think we necessarily lose anyone. I don't think maybe we lose Henderson in midfield, but there's players that can come in there. That's not too much of a concern. Walker should be all right. Backline should be all right. Stones will be all right. Maguire will be all right. Pickford will be all right. Like 18 months time that the team's there. It's ready. It's fine. So yeah, in regards to England, I hope he sticks around. I would agree that the Euros would feel like the right place for him to maybe leave then, because I do understand you can't just keep trying and going. Like, maybe it would be time for a different strategy at that point. But I think with the Euros being 18 months, I would give him that as well. And I like the idea of then seeing where Eddie Howe is, because I think he's been very impressive for Newcastle. Portugal apparently have offered Jose Mourinho the national team coach. Dortmund said, imagine how good Bellingham, Foden and Saka are going to be in a few years. I hope we can find a few more strikers to challenge Kane, a Michael Owens or a Rooney. Yeah, I mean, we do tend to create those strikers. I mean, if you think we've gone from the likes of, just going to 90, for example, with Lineker, and then going from Lineker into Shearer, and then going from Shearer into Owen, then going from Owen into Rooney, then going from Rooney into Kane. Like, for the longest time, we've had strikers that have come along that have been able to perform at that highest level and be like world class. We've never really had a problem in that department. Even if like Harry Kane wasn't around, you don't know how some of the other strikers would do. We got the likes of Tammy Abraham, who could be doing something in an England shirt, don't know. Obviously, if Kane hadn't been around, I'm sure Jamie Vardy would have played a lot more So I'm sure he would have had a lot more goals to his career. So even if we hadn't have had Kane, I'm sure we would have had Vardy. So I do agree. You might look at the strikers that are coming through after Harry Kane and be like, where's the next big one? I genuinely don't know. But I equally think if there was one that was picked, I think that we've got players that could do a job at international level. I actually think, international level might not be quite as good as Premier League level. I don't know if that's controversial to say or not, but I feel like the Premier League, every team is just made up of some of the best players in the world, but not every international team is made up of the best players in the world. Like you can play some teams, I don't know, like Tunisia or like Iran or whoever, and they've got some, strengths, but they've got plenty of weaknesses as well. And so I do think that, someone that can do it in the Premier League and is pretty good, like, say, an Ivan Toney, might absolutely light it up for an international duty for England. So I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right on that front. And as you said, maybe someone comes along. What I would love to see is a flipping monster of a central defender. That's what I would love to see. Love to see someone that's an absolute beast at centre-back. Maybe a couple. That would be nice. Twin Towers. I'd love to get a couple of them in. Brazil want Pep, but that's not going to happen considering he's just signed a contract extension, says James. James, hello. JMB has said Eddie Howe would be a perfect manager for England. Easy99 said 4-year World Cup will be different with players. We might see the same player that plays at this World Cup and some youth from academies that will shine even more. But David Beckham is the manager. No, thank you. When you're going to be a manager, you really need some experience. Like Gareth Southgate had been a manager in the Premier League with Middlesbrough, and then, which didn't go that great, to be honest. So he then became the England under-21 manager, and that was going really well. He was doing really well in that role. And so they promoted him because we had a problem and we needed a manager, and they couldn't really find anyone at the time, so they gave him the chance, and he's been brilliant. I mean, statistically, I think he is our second best manager ever. Like the amount of games that he's won and the percentage that he's won and the amount of big tournament games that he's won, I'm sure is just second behind Sir Alf Ramsey. So, and his record is like semi-final, final, and now quarter-final. Obviously disappointing that we just couldn't take that next step and at least get to a semi and get that big win over a team. This team probably got as far as what they were expected to achieve. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's happened. It wasn't as disappointing as I was thinking it was going to be. Tomori needs a chance, says Dort Knight. Yeah, the only thing I would say with Tomori is that he had a really good season last season, but this year he hasn't been as good, and I think he's actually made a few mistakes, and I think that he is a player that has never been in the England setup on a consistent basis. And honestly, I really don't know. I don't know what Southgate's going to look to do now. Stones has been brilliant for England. Maguire, you've got to say, delivered. There's been no talk about Maguire. I think there's still been concern. Players, fans have still been like, he's got a mistake in him, like it's going to go wrong at some point. But by and large, Maguire has been really good in this tournament, bringing the ball out of the back and helping to build up the play. He's put in some big tackles, won some big aerial duels. His sofa score number, I think, was pretty good as well for the tournament average. Like, he didn't let England down at all, Maguire. So, Southgate had to make some big calls, and that one came off for him. But I don't know what he does now. I don't know if, Maguire might not be playing on a regular basis at United. So he's going to have to turn to a different direction, you would imagine. He's going to have to bring in a different defender. And maybe Tomori is that person. We also don't know what happened with Ben White. So Ben White, that's another situation that's going to need to be resolved. Like, what happened with Ben White? Because there's rumours doing the rounds that he had a big falling out with Steve Holland, the assistant manager, because he didn't do homework. He didn't, read up on the other team. I think it was Iran or someone. And as a result of that, he got sent home. But they're saying it's personal issues. We're just having a look at these penalties. So they're just showing both of the Kane penalties right now. And what's interesting is that Hugo Lloris went to his left for the first one, but Harry Kane sent it the other way. It looks like Harry Kane is changing direction, but it looks like Hugo Lloris is... Oh, I tell you, if that had been on target, that looked like it still would have gone in. Heartache. Tamori could represent Canada if he's not called up by the England squad, said Easy99. Hasib said, are you ready for another Lionel Messi masterclass? Best player in the world, best player of all time. Well, he will likely cement that if he is going to be victorious here today, yeah. If he is going to get through to a final. I think if he can get through to a final, that'll be big. World Cup finalist, I think, does mean something. World Cup winner means a lot more. But going out at this semi-final stage doesn't really mean anything, does it? It doesn't really mean anything. I've heard people referred to as World Cup finalists, but like a World Cup semi-finalist, it doesn't really mean anything. So this is a massive game for Messi. This is a massive game. So if there is a masterclass in there, this would be a game to bring it out. This and the final, of course. Did you mean to write semi-final in the poll? Nope. This is the semi-final. So who do you think's going to go to the World Cup final? Who is going to progress? Who's going to make it to the World Cup final? Kay said, do you think Vince will be back? Have you heard the rumours? I haven't heard the rumours, no, but last night we spoke about it in quite a bit of depth. And I don't want to say I called it, but I did say last night. But no, I haven't seen any rumours. In fact, I can't even see him trending at the moment, but people do keep talking about it. Yeah, just put Vince in. I'll see what it says. Numerous higher-ups I've spoke to in recent months have indicated to us they want nothing to do with that and are happy with the direction. I haven't heard one person talking about a Vince return. Okay, so Sean Rossap 2 hours ago said he hasn't heard anything about a Vince return. Rebecca said Vince has told people he intends to make a comeback, saying he got bad advice close to him to step down, and he believes the investigations would have blown over if he would have stayed. Who is this Rebecca person? She is a Wall Street Journal investigator, basically. Okay, so someone from the Wall Street Journal says that Vince is telling people that he intends to make a comeback, saying he got bad advice from people. Sean is saying that he spoke to loads of people high up in WWE recently, and he hasn't heard any of that. I haven't heard one person there itching for a Vince return. So Vince is facing fresh legal demands from 2 women. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Reports also state Vince has told people he intends to make a comeback, according to people familiar with the comments. I mean, look, I think it's really interesting that they showed him last night on Raw. And I spoke about it during the watch long, and I spoke about it during the review video that went out, because that, to my knowledge, is the first time Vince has been shown on Raw or SmackDown since he left. And I thought that was really, really interesting, because if you've got someone in your company that's been accused of sexually harassing people to the point where he's had to pay them hush money to stay quiet. Granted, he's not been found guilty of anything. I do understand that. But even so, it's not a good look, to the point where he has been advised it's best that you probably retire, right? He hasn't chosen to retire. He's been forced to retire. That's clear. You know, he came out on TV, said he wasn't going anywhere and all this, and then he's forced to retire. I think for your company to then show images of him on the shows That says to me that you are getting the audience ready for something to do with him, or you're trying to get him back so that he is on TV and people are used to seeing him again. Not because it's setting up for his return. It might be that you're setting up to put him into the Hall of Fame. But I think you're setting up for something. I think you're doing something. There is definite. Someone has to make a decision. I put this on Twitter last night that I thought it was a big deal. I had idiots coming back saying, no, it wasn't, right? I'm sorry. You're an idiot if you don't think that that's a big deal, because he is someone that was accused of sexual harassment and forced to retire. But now that same company is showing him on the program. That's a big deal. And so he is, in my opinion, like, they're trying to rehabilitate his image. But I don't think that it's a case that they're doing that because he's going to come back and take over the company. I probably more get the vibe they're thinking of putting him in the Hall of Fame. And I think you'll see more of him on the show as well. Maybe not actually on the show, but just video of him on the show. But I don't know. Sean's come out and said that he hasn't heard that and there's nothing to it, to be honest. But, I mean, Wall Street Journal's a big, obviously, newspaper, in it. It's a big outlet. So for them to say they've heard something is noteworthy. But who are you supporting today? I am going to be behind Croatia. I'm going to be behind Croatia. I don't really care, to be honest. For me, it's England or nothing. But now England are out. I think out of all the teams that I would like to see win, it'd be Morocco. And then second would be Croatia. Third would be Argentina. And right at the bottom would be France. Nothing to do with them knocking England out. France were bottom when this tournament started because they won last time. Whoever wins the time before, I wouldn't want to see him again unless it's England. That's what it's got to do with the football match. Vince still has shareholders in the company. He can do what he wants, said Easy99. Captions working on live, said Seed Danger. Don't know what you mean, buds. Right, how long have we got? We've got 20 minutes to go. Where are we? We've had over 200 votes, you know. We've had over 200 votes. And we've got 74% think Argentina and 26% for Croatia. So it's 74 it's gone 75 now. 75-25. So 3/4 of people have gone with Argentina and 1/4 of people have gone with Croatia. So, it seems it's about probably what I was expecting. 3/4 of people going with Argentina, 1/4 of people going with Croatia. I bet people wouldn't make a big deal if Tony Khan had allegations against him, said Joe. Oh, I bet they would, James. I bet they would. The WWE fans would. Flybirds Fly said Argentina win and Messi will claim all the goals even if he doesn't score them. Easy99 said, if you was England manager, who would you pick into a 26? We ain't doing that. I'm not going to sit here and pick a whole squad of players. I mean, what I would say is that I thought the squad that went is largely correct. The only 2, maybe 3 that I would have looked at would have been James Ward-Prowse. But to be honest, I don't think that was a problem. I mean, you'd pick him really because he's a decent midfielder. He is someone that is fantastic when it comes to set pieces. But I think that he's got to be on the pitch. I mean, if you win a free kick and he's on the bench, he's no good, is he? So I think that is one that would have been under consideration. And I don't mind the fact he wasn't in the squad. But he is someone that is, just on the fringes. Let's put it that way. Ivan Toney is one that upset people. They wanted Ivan Toney to be selected. But to be honest, I mean, he wouldn't have played. Callum Wilson was selected. He barely played. Like, it's quite clear our number one striker is Harry Kane. And we don't play a system where we need a second striker. So Ivan Toney, I think he's unfortunate. I just think he's unfortunate because he's playing in the Harry Kane era. And Harry Kane is our, number one, and deservedly so. Not only for goals, but also for the assists. and everything that he provides, So that's one. And then Tomori in defence. I think that was one that people were scratching their heads at maybe. But as I said, this season he's made a few mistakes, so I don't mind Tomori not being included. I probably would have put Tomori in. I probably would have took him, to be honest. But I don't know who over because, well, in reflection, maybe Ben White. Because Ben White ended up, but no idea that Ben White was going to be leaving. And the great thing with Ben White is that he can cover at right back as well. So you get a bit of versatility with Ben White. He can be a centre-back. He can be a right back. I think Tomori is only a centre-back. And not really proven at international level. Like, he hasn't really wore England shirt that often. I'll tell you the player I'm really excited about. That's Carvalho for Liverpool. He, just before the tournament, he walked out of Portugal's under-21s. He walked out of Portugal, actually. He sent a text saying he wasn't interested in playing for them anymore because of the fact that they didn't select him for their World Cup squad. He's, I think, how old is he? About 21. Young player, used to be in the England setup, hasn't played yet, I believe, for Portugal. If I was Gareth Southgate, if I was England, I'm giving him a call as soon as possible. And I'm saying, we're interested. We're really interested. He is a fantastic, creative player who just ripped up the Championship last year to the point where Liverpool have signed him. And, he's at a big club now. He's at a big club. He's got a bright future. And we've got an opportunity to have a very good attacking midfielder there. Someone that would be really tasty to have in the England setup. It's still not the centre-back that I would like, but yeah, he was part of England's youth setup. It's just that when he got to under-21 level, he decided to go over to Portugal and play for them. But now he's been upset at not being selected for the World Cup. We need to move on that. We need to make sure that we get him tied up, get him capped, get him in the senior squad, find a way of incorporating him because he's a real talent. He's a real talent. He's undeniably international level. The only thing is, I can understand the argument of how do you fit him in? Do you know what I mean? How are you going to put him in? I don't know if you could have maybe Saka, Carvalho, and Foden as a 3, and then Harry Kane just in front. Maybe have a 2 of Rice and Bellingham, with Bellingham getting forwards and Rice staying back, and then have 4 behind. So maybe you do the 4-2-3-1 and do something along those lines. Or maybe even do it a bit more like a 4-1-4-1 and maybe have a look at something like that. And then you can maybe incorporate Carvalho that way. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. As I said, if I'm England, I'm looking to tap him up as soon as possible. What do you think about Messi, said Sid Danger. What do I think about Messi? I think Messi is a fantastic player. I don't regard him as the best ever. For me, it's just really hard to look past Pele. I think Pele is just, he's just the guy, man. He's just the guy. I grew up with Pele being the guy, and even though Messi has, done so much, I just can't accept that he's better than Pele. Messi, I suppose, it's because I've seen Messi, and I've seen Messi have, bad games, and I've seen him, not shine all the time. I think, when I never watched Pele, I heard about Pele, I never saw the bad moments. You only ever see the highlights of the good stuff. So I think it's probably unfair on Messi, to be honest. I think now that we're getting to the end of the careers, Messi is having a much better end to his career than Ronaldo is. I think for the longest time, it was so hard to separate them. But I think right now, you can easily separate them. Right now, Messi is better than Ronaldo. And maybe this is just going to give Messi the edge in the argument over who's better. Is it Messi? Is it Ronaldo? I think Messi's now winning that argument. Because of this end of the career, you've got something substantial that you can actually point at and say, yeah, look at that. And who knows, he might go on to win a World Cup. And that's something that Ronaldo never did. So, there are things that seem to be happening for Messi at the moment, which are going to give him the advantage. But in regards to all time, as I said, growing up, Pele was always the one. And it's just hard for me to see Messi at that level. But Pele has done nothing. All he did was win the World Cup. And also score a load of goals. I mean, the amount of goals that he scored in his career, that's still a record that people have been trying to break. The argument that keeps getting thrown is that he did it in a South American league and not in like a European league. But back in the day, the South American leagues were very, very difficult. They were very, very hard. They were not like they are now, which is, dare I say, a bit of a feeder for the European leagues. I think if you was to rank the world leagues, I don't know that the South American ones would be above La Liga or the Premier League, or I don't even know if they'd be above Syria, to be honest. But there's some incredible talent there, of course there is. But they are, their bigger stars tend to come over to Europe. It's where the money is, isn't it? Money talks. So the big stars tend to come over. But back in the day, it wasn't so much that way. Unbroken said Messi should learn karate for protection against squirrels. Messi is looking focused, says Mark. It's unfair argument. Messi is 35, Ronaldo is 37. Ronaldo at 35 was way better, says Sauce for Ack. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. He has got a couple of years on him. But as we said, we are entering these final stages. And who knows? A couple of years' time then, if Messi is starting to... the wheels are starting to come off for Messi, then I suppose Ronaldo fans can point to that. But right now, I mean, they're both in their like mid to late 30s. They're both in towards the end of their careers. And you can, I mean, like, last year at Man United was, he scored a load of goals, Ronaldo, but still there were question marks around the team, and there was a lot of frustration from Ronaldo, and it wasn't really a great fit. If he was maybe in a better team, maybe last year would have looked better for him. But I would make the argument that even though he managed to get on the end of like a fair few goals, even last year there was question marks around like how good is he? It's not like he was scoring and everyone was like, God, this guy's the best in the world. This is amazing. As a United fan, there were plenty of questions last year around Ronaldo and, like, should he be playing and where should we use him? And I think it was quite evident that he had slowed and that his impact on games wasn't as great. He still provided some great moments in Europe, but, you could tell it's not the Ronaldo that we were used to seeing. It was not a Ronaldo in his prime. And then I don't think things were that brilliant at Juventus either, to be honest. I mean, it's so hard because he might have just been at some clubs in turmoil. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're an amazing player, but the club around you is crumbling and falling apart. And I think that there was a little bit of that at Juventus. And then certainly there was that at United. I don't think that has helped him at all. That hasn't helped him at all. So it's difficult, but right now you can see obvious difference between the two players. Messi is ahead of Ronaldo right now. If Messi loses the World Cup, Ronaldo will be undisputed GOAT by longevity. Well, we don't know that. You can't say that, can you? You can't say that because Ronaldo's never won a World Cup. And we don't know what the future's going to hold for Messi. And Messi has been doing great for Paris Saint-Germain. He's been doing great for Argentina. He's only a couple of years behind Ronaldo. And this year has been terrible for Ronaldo. This has not been a good year for Ronaldo whatsoever. And managers won't play him. He can't get into starting 11s. So I think that, as I said, right now, you can see a very obvious difference. I take the argument that, like, well, Messi's got a few more years to go to get to where Ronaldo is. But I don't even think he needs to be that great, Messi, within these next few years to, like, have a better end to his career. Because this, go back, like, this past year, I don't think it's been that brilliant for Ronaldo. I don't think 2022 goes down as a great year for Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo should be a head coach of Portugal in 2026. How do you get 43,000 goals? Come on, Argentina and Messi said retribution. Dortnight said the greatest footballer of all time is probably the teacher in the film Kes. I've never seen that film. Some people don't care about Messi and Ronaldo, said Steve. Yeah, I'm one of them. Fortune said Croatia is better than Argentina. Without Messi, Argentina would crumble. Croatia could take out Messi and they could win easily, says Fortune. James says, we love Messi. James says, hello. Hope you're well, buds. Right, we're about to go over to this semi-final then. Winner of this is going to a World Cup final. And obviously there's a lot of talk about Messi and Ronaldo. Ronaldo out of the World Cup with Portugal. Messi still in, but rightfully you lot have identified that this is going to be tricky. This is not going to be easy for Argentina. Croatia got to the final 4 years ago. They want to get there again. They're going to have belief that they can do it again, but they're also going to know that this is going to be a real challenge. And he has got the weight of a nation on his shoulders. Not Messi, but Modric. Modric, you think, is going to be key for Croatia if they are going to get through this game. And both teams are lined up. They're getting ready to come out. And we'll be getting the national anthems very, very soon. They've come a long way, this Argentine team. Don't forget, when they first started their World Cup, they lost 2-1 to Saudi Arabia. So, they've come a long way. Here they are in the semi-final. Would we have said that they would have reached a semi-final when they lost that first game? But it shows that you can lose your first game as long as you can pick things up, learn from it, and go on a run afterwards. And that's exactly what they've been able to do. Here come the teams making their way out. Ronaldo should be in charge of retirement home football where he belongs. The highest high of any player I saw was Maradona winning a World Cup and Serie A with average teams. He could do things I've never seen anyone do, and he dragged teams with him. Lots of lows too, though, says S. Bassett. He's up there. I mean, those were the two. I suppose this generation have had Messi and Ronaldo, and it was never Pele against Maradona. They're different generations, but those were always the two names, really. If ever there was a conversation to be had about who was the greatest footballer of all time, when I was young, and even going into like the early 2000s, it was always Pele or Maradona. There might have been a mention for, might have been a mention for Johan Cruyff. There might have been a mention for maybe like Brazilian Ronaldo at the time. Maybe there was a bit of talk for Zidane that was starting to sneak in. But to be honest, there was no one that was really close to Pele or Maradona. Those were the two. And for me, it was always Pele that was the one. Right, Argentine national anthem. Sid Danger said WWE or football. WWE or football. They both do different things, don't they? Is Bivol still protecting Messi, or was it all a hoax? Says James. I think I didn't read that he was going to do that. But read Nomato's comment. I can't see it. Well, I can't see it, but there. Why is there a Croatian player with a lucha mask? It's broken orbital bone, I think. That's what he's protecting. Greatest footballer of all time for me is Fred from Man United, says William. Easy99 said, if Argentina win the World Cup, Saudi Arabia should take 50% of that because they beat them. Shinosuke said, Johnny Sabatingal is a Vanuatu player and he scored 43,000 goals at Vanuatu. He retired at 52 and he is amazing. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of him. I've never heard of that team. And 43,000 goals is, I've got to imagine, not officially recognised. Christopher said one to watch for the England squad is going to be Michael Cooper. He's a goalkeeper at Plymouth Argyle, 23, and he's better than Ramsdale. Okay. I mean, like, obviously, if he's playing at Plymouth, though, he needs to get up into the higher leagues to show that that skill is going to transfer to the higher leagues. But even so, that's interesting. I wish he'd been a defender, though. Since USA is out, it's fun watching these games, said James, and not being so nervous. Probably the same with England out. Yeah, it is, but it's not the same. I've said before, I always watch games with how does this affect England mentality. Every game. Doesn't matter what game I'm watching. Every game that is at the forefront of my mind. Like right now, if England was still in, I'd be right behind Croatia. Because I feel England would have a better chance against Croatia than they would against Argentina. I mean, I don't really have a way of explaining why other than Messi, you know. But obviously Croatia have got Modric. But I still feel that Argentina are favourites. They've got, you know, some incredible names. I'd be watching this rooting for Croatia. And I suppose in a way I still am. But if Argentina get through, I'm not bothered. It really takes a lot out of it, really. It does take a lot out of it when your team goes out. To the point where, like, I just can't imagine, like, how engaged Italians would be in this World Cup. If you was Italian and your team just wasn't even here, I have no idea, like, how into this World Cup you'd be. Like, why would you care? What is there to watch? Why would you care if, like, Argentina win? Or I suppose I'd be watching. I don't know what I'd be doing. I don't know. For me, it's England, or I'm just like. Thankfully, I've only got to watch a few these games, and I am genuinely, I suppose, hoping that Morocco can shock the world. I think Morocco doing it would just be incredible. What a story that would be. So if I am going to get behind anyone, it would be Morocco. So I suppose I've got that. But this game, for example, I'm looking at and I'm like, I really don't give a flip about Messi doing it. I don't care about Messi. I don't care about Ronaldo. That does nothing for me. How can a human score 43,000 if you only have a 15-year career? You should score 22,600 goals a year, says Millennial. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds rubbish, to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not true and that he hasn't done that, but whatever the quality of opposition was, it was just a load of rubbish. Who was better, Brazilian Ronaldo or France's Thierry Henry? That's difficult. I mean, my initial reaction is I feel that Ronaldo had a bigger impact on the world than Henry did. But Henry is regarded as the best Premier League player ever. So it's very difficult. I would go with Ronaldo. I feel like Ronaldo on his day could be a difference maker like, you know, nearly no one else. Maybe Maradona or Pele or whatever could match that, but I feel that Ronaldo on his day really could take a game by the scruff of the neck. Thierry Henry, I suppose, could as well, but I don't think to the same extent. I think Thierry Henry was more consistent. I think year after year after year, he was just there in the Premier League being like the best player. So I would say that Henry has it for consistency. I think that Ronaldo has it for just sheer impact. And so if I was going to play a game and have a player, I'd go Ronaldo. I mean, Ronaldo was regarded as like one of the best players ever. He was in conversation, Brazilian Ronaldo, for being one of the best players ever. I don't know that I've ever really heard Thierry Henry in that bracket, though. As I said, I feel like his impact was greater than Thierry Henry is. Right. Argentina have got the ball, and they are passing it around in their own half. Let's get the stats on screen. Ball goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. Days, I say R9. He is one of the greatest ever. Adriana said Argentina 7, Croatia 1. Damn. David Beckham jinxed England. He sat there watching with all of his strange tattoos, says Politisk Cafe. Shout out to you, but hope you are. Did you know that Manuel Neuer broke his legs when he was skiing? And he'll miss the rest of the season. I did hear that, yes. James said only 45 shows left to watch. You get in there, James. You get in there. Armani was great, but funnily enough, didn't do it in a lot of major finals, says Dortnight. Here's Argentina playing the ball forward, but nicely cut out by Croatia. I wonder if this will go. I mean, like, if this is going to end in full time, you do sort of feel like it'll probably be Argentina. If Croatia are going to be winning this, I wonder if it's going to have to be penalties. Either way, we are up and running with this one. We're into the 3rd minute. Argentina have got the ball in their own half. Ball is played across. Here come Argentina. Ball into the centre. Comes back over to the right-hand side. Back into the middle. Gets played over, and the keeper's out to claim it. Since we don't care as England and the US are out, can we boo the games and hate on everything? Oh, go for it, mate. Go for it. Ball is in the middle of the park for Croatia, driving forwards. That's lovely work. Kovacic. Ball is being played forward, bounces off the Croatian forwards, goes out for an Argentina throw-in. Does anyone know who the main commentator is tonight? Sam Matterface is the main commentator tonight on ITV. I think he's their main go-to guy all the time, isn't he, when it comes to these big games? Ball going down the line for Argentina. Into the middle, headed back. They've got a little bit of zip about them, Argentina, at the moment. They're really closing down very, very quickly. There's players that are getting over and closing the Croatian players down. Lovely little link-up play. Perisic, ball gets floated in by Perisic, but straight into the hands of the Argentine keeper. And Argentina looking to break forwards. Ball into the middle of the park. I hope everyone did their fantasy teams as well. I really struggled to get like all the players that I needed. I don't even know what my team ended up being, actually. But as I said, hopefully you managed to get it done. Ball coming over to the left-hand side. It's being passed around by Argentina at the moment. They're just enjoying passing the ball, keeping a hold of possession. As long as they've got it, it means that Croatia don't. So, in this game, I've got Otamendi, Perisic, DePaul, and Messi. That's what I've got in this game. But yeah, sadly, I've only been able to field 10 people. I haven't been able to make enough changes. I had so many players knocked out, I didn't have enough to actually get a full 11. I'd have to have spent 3 points to have bought an 11th player. So I don't have a goalkeeper for this game week. That's how bad the last round went for me. Ball being knocked into the middle there by Croatia. There seems to be a foul, but referee, I think, is playing the advantage. Croatia trying to play on. There looked like a foul there on the Argentina player. Already we're getting a few fouls coming in. Yeah, there's a couple of fouls in there. I think the referee just played advantage. But there is a Free kick to Argentina. I did my team, but I had to use extra, so I lost 9 points, said James. Oof. Woke up and chose violence. Retribution, hope you're well. Would you prefer Gakpo or Ramos for United in this transfer window? Oh, that's a good question. I didn't think he played very well, Ramos, in that other game. He had an amazing game, but I don't think he played so well in the second one. That's an interesting question. I would have to go Gakpo. I think that he was looking really good throughout this tournament. I think he was looking really good. I think he would be a real problem. So I would take Gakpo, have Rashford down the centre. I think Rashford can play as a 9. It's not ideal. It's, we'll need to get a proper striker. It's hard to know where to play Rashford, to be honest. On the left, sometimes he can be very ineffective. Up front, he's not really a number 9. I have no idea where his best position is. Croatia on the ball, trying to play it out from the back into the 8th minute. And stats at the moment, you can see we haven't really got much in the way of data yet, but 87% possession for Croatia. They said they're not going to man-mark Messi, Croatia. They're going to look to disrupt the whole team, the whole Argentine team. Ball down the line to Croatia's defence. They've got it in their own half. Gets played across. There's quite a bit of space there. That looks like it's Modric. Ball coming forward into the middle. Kovacic. Modric on the ball. So Croatia are on the ball just around the halfway line. Now it's coming over to that left-hand side. Bardiol comes over to the left. Little 1-2, but Argentina break that up. Yeah, that was nicely cut out by Argentina. Argentina playing it back to their defense, looking to launch it forward. Bounces off the Croatian player, and that should be a throw-in or corner. A goal kick, sorry. It's throw-in. It's got an aim for a throw-in. Right. Days, what are today's videos for the web? There aren't any. There's some requests that have gone up on the Twitter account. I think there was one for Christmas messages, so that people can wish community members happy Christmas. And then the one that I'm probably more interested in is videos of what people got for Christmas or what Christmas was like for people. So those should be for the next few weeks, but nothing for tonight. I'm winning the fantasy football at work, said Tortnight. Very good. DB Mikey said Croatia's plan is get to penalties and let the keeper do the rest. It's a plan that's worked for them, isn't it? It's a plan that's done very well. Croatia are on the ball, got it in their defence, gets played across to the other defender. Comes over to the left-hand side, into the centre. Croatia looking to build, goes back to the Croatian defence. Did you listen to news about Vince coming back? Yes and no. I didn't hear anything about it. It was got mentioned on the chat. We had a little look into it. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's hard to say if there's anything to it. It's coming from the Wall Street Journal, which seems to be a good news source. So it's definitely worth paying attention to. But Sean Ross Sapp has come out and said that he spoke to a lot of people in WWE. No one has mentioned anything about Vince coming back. If this is something Vince is saying, then it's something that Vince is saying. And there's no one within that company that seemingly wants to go back in that direction. And everyone seems to be quite happy with how the changes have gone and, everything that's happened. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Vince is going to... I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I feel like it's a decent source. But no one in that company seemingly wants him to return. So, ball goes out. It's going to be a throw-in. Perisic is going to throw it in for Croatia. Goes down the line, into the middle, gets knocked back. Picked up by Croatia in the midfields. Comes over to the left, into the middle. Trying to get the ball over there. Croatia doing well at the moment. They're probing, you know. We tend to see with Croatia them having possession or defending. Right now, they've got the ball. They're taking it to Argentina. Ball coming across. Gvardiol knocking it forward. Bit of space there. Some lovely movement by this midfield. Come on, Argentina. Do what you couldn't in 2018, said DB. James said, what were the final results? We're at just over 400 and we can wrap it up. I think it was like 72 to 27. So we had over 400 votes and it finished just over 70% of you thought it was going to be Argentina. Rest thinking that it would be Croatia. At the moment, it's looking pretty good for Croatia. Croatia have not been bullied in this game. We're already at the 13th minute mark. And there's been nothing to really bother them. No shots. It's not like they're having to soak up wave after wave of pressure. Here we go. Through ball. Player went down. Referee says no. I think Messi went down on the edge of the area. Referee says no. Lots of boos, lots of Argentina fans in the stadium. There's a big Argentine support. And so big jeers as Messi was looking for a penalty. We haven't seen a replay of it, so I don't know if it was. Just saw him go down quite dramatically. Referee was well cited, though, and he said it wasn't. VAR will obviously take a look at it regardless. It might have just been outside the penalty area, though. Lovely long ball coming towards Croatian player, but Argentina mopping that up. And that ball goes out of play. We're just having a look at a replay here then. Ball is not forwards. It's not in the penalty area. It's outside. So VAR isn't going to take a look at that because it's outside the penalty area. Referee was well cited and said it wasn't a free kick. Right, here we go then. Long throw for Croatia. Gonna look to get it right into the penalty area. It gets in there. It's headed up in the air, but cleared by Argentina. Falls to the edge of the box. Croatia still looking. They've still got possession. Doing well. Coming back, mopping it up. Brozovic. Teams are 2-2-1 in 5 previous matches with each other, says Davids. 72 people have got Argentina. They're sleeping on Croatia, says Nadula. Can't think of a worse outcome than Croatia versus France. Not only because we had it last time, but it makes it easier for France, says Redemption. I pick Argentina because I believe they've got the right players to win, said Flybirds Fly. Retribution said the game has not kicked off properly yet. It's been a slow burner so far. Crow Cop should be subbed in to do a head kick, says Mr. Unfamiliar. Corner coming in for Argentina. So it's a corner against Argentina, sorry. Ball is whipped in. Who does it? Couldn't see who it bounced off, but it was a Croatian attack. It's going to be a corner here to Croatia. They've been looking good in this passage of play, you know. Oh, it's been played short. Gets knocked back. That would be really disappointing if they don't get it in, but they do. Hangs in the air to the back post, goes behind, and that was weak. That was really weak. Yeah, they tried to do something a bit clever there. It really didn't come off for them. Sometimes they do, though. We saw that excellent free kick by the Netherlands. That free kick that managed to get their match with Argentina into extra time. That was excellent. I was sort of hoping England were going to do something like that. I was sort of hoping that England were going to, because they had a free kick right at the end of the game against France. And that was just on the edge of the penalty area. I was sort of hoping they were going to do some like little trickery, but sadly they didn't. Have you done anything with your FPL team changes, or you wait until the World Cup is over? I was going to wait for the World Cup to be over, to be honest. I suppose I could. I know I've got to take Jesus out, for example, but I was probably going to wait for the World Cup to be over first. But I think it's all unlimited anyway, isn't it? So I suppose there'd be nothing stopping me going in and making some changes. So that way, if I ever do forget. The only problem is that does come back and bite me sometimes. But not if it's going to be unlimited changes. But sometimes I can like make changes early because I am worried about forgetting. And then someone gets injured or they get dropped or something happens. And if I'd have waited, I could have read that situation better, you know. I've done that where I've said someone's had a flyer on the Saturday, so I've brought them in Saturday night, worried about price increases and things like that. And then they'll play in midweek and they'll be a bit rubbish and then they're dropped the next week. Or they'll get injured midweek so they don't play the next week. Whereas if I'd actually waited till, say, the Friday, I would have had much more information. I could have made a better decision. Don't know. Bit trigger happy sometimes, but I know I'm not alone at that. I think everyone gets that from time to time. 19th minute. It's unnatural for me to not support an underdog. It feels odd, said Sam. Crow Cop head kicking Alberto Del Rio is such a feel-good vibe video to brighten up one's day, said Mr. Unfamiliar. What do you think of Croatia's number 22? What, Juranovic? I can't say I've seen tons of him. I think that all of them in that defense have been very impressive. But I can't give you any like specifics. I've not really been paying attention to them on that kind of a detail. Croatia just plays so well as a team. Like everyone seems to play their part. Everyone knows their role and plays it very, very well. The only thing that you don't tend to see is really much from the forwards. I feel like creatively a lot comes through Perisic. So I feel like their whole defense has been solid. It's been really solid. They all do a great job back there. But I'd struggle to like name individual moments that like, you know, made the difference because they've just been barraged. They've had to really weather some storms in this World Cup. What's your honest prediction for this match? I think Messi getting to the final might be written in the stars. I think Messi getting to the final might be inevitable. So I'm going to say that Argentina win, but I think it's going to be probably extra time or it's going to be hard. Croatia have looked good, though. They could absolutely do it, and I'd be pleased with them doing it. I'm fine with them doing it. Croatia, Morocco, I'd love that as a final. I know that it wouldn't get the views. I know that people wouldn't tune into it as if it was Argentina, France, Messi versus Mbappe. That's the heavyweight clash that I think the majority want. But I'm more into teams that have never winning it. So Croatia, Morocco appeals more to me. So yeah, I hope Croatia do it here, and I definitely want Morocco. I'd love Morocco to win the whole thing. I replaced Jesus for Danny Ings. I just realised Croatia have knocked out Brazil. Now they could knock out Argentina as well. Croatia's strength is the players knowing their roles and shutting their mouths, says Charles Dubronx. I replaced Jesus for Fred. Good call. Good call. Jesus is watching. Can you imagine the stadium breaking out in a chant of "Oh, Scissor Me Daddy"? Not really. I can't really imagine that in a Argentina versus Croatia football game. But if this was maybe AEW versus WWE in a football charity match, I could. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Here they come, surging forward. Oh, that'd be really fun, actually. They should do that. WWE versus AEW, but not in a wrestling thing. Have a charity football game. Never happened. There's Messi. So they're saying that the game goes to a different level when Messi is on the ball. Like the crowd, the anticipation of what he might do. Ball goes out there. Messi trying to get on the ball in the penalty area. They tried to clear it. It only went as far as Messi. Messi picked up the ball, drove into the Croatian box. And nothing came of it in the end. Here's the keeper. He puts the ball down. I don't like Croatia, said Gaming with Great Fish. Brazil and Argentina would have been fire. Yeah, it never would have happened in the fight. Well, I can't say never. But if they both won their groups, which I think they both did, then they both went onto the same side of the draw. One needed to finish second in the group, I believe. And it didn't. Am I right in saying that? I think I am right in saying that. I think Argentina did end up topping their group. They both went onto the same side of the draw, so there was no way they were going to meet in the final once the groups had been finished. Ball being headed forwards. Bounces around, comes over to the right-hand side. Nice work. Down the line. Comes over to the left. Croatia are breaking, trying to find a way forward. We're in the 24th minute. 61-39. There's been one shot and it wasn't on target. So it's not a game full of drama. It's a scrappy little affair. Both teams are trying to get the ball, trying to get further up the pitch. As we said, I agree with Retribution. This isn't a game that's really got going yet. Which is funny to say after 24 minutes. Nervy though, innit? World Cup semi-final. Winner of this gets through to a final of a World Cup. So much at stake. Lovely shape there by Croatia. Ball is played into the middle. There's no one in there though. Croatia have got the ball. Take a moment to kick it out and it goes out. Goods. Argentina is playing a defensive tactic. It shows they're not confident against Croatia, says Fortune. But I think you meant Argentina-Brazil semi-final tonight. Yeah, that would have been tonight, wouldn't it? This would have been Brazil versus Argentina. Would have been Messi versus Neymar tonight. That would have been a bigger game. Undeniably, it would have been a bigger game. But the World Cup's not about that, is it? The World Cup's about who's the best. And as much as it might be weird to look at Croatia as being the best, I think you can make an argument that they are legit one of the best teams at this World Cup. And it is about teams. It's not about individuals. It's about the team and them working together as a team. But obviously, if you've got an individual like Messi or Mbappe, you know, even if your team doesn't quite function as well, they have the ability to provide that moment of magic. I mean, we've been seeing, dare I say, Griezmann having like such an influence, a massive influence on France. If Griezmann's not doing that great, maybe Mbappe can step up for the likes of France. Like, they've got a few players that can drag them over the line, but actually team-wise, I think like what we've seen from Croatia in this tournament's been brilliant, and that is amazing. Oh, he goes down. So foul there. That was. Look at this. So that was number 8. That was Kovacic. Kovacic like rode a couple of tackles there. So he rode a couple of tackles. He managed to spin around. Managed to get past a couple of players. It's very impressive. Just seeing a shot that had to be dealt with. Don't think that's... Oh, it did class as being on target. Right, we've got a free kick here. You know what? Croatia are the better team here, said Dortnight. Kovacic did so well. He proper rode that out, didn't he? Proper rode that out. Right, here we go then. It's a free kick to Croatia. It is shooting distance. It's actually really nice. It's not too close. It's perfect, I would say. That's just where you want a free kick to be, because you can really get it up and down over a wall. So, sir, but instead it's whipped into the middle. That's a real shame, that is. That was a real waste. They got it into the penalty area, but it was just dealt with so comfortably by Argentina. And now Argentina are looking to break. That's a lovely high ball. It's got to be dealt with. It is dealt with. Modric heading the ball. That ball seemed to go out. Referee said it's going to be a throw-in. So it's a throw-in to Argentina. Modric leaping up, heading that away. Modric having to do defensive duties. All of this coming from a really poor, what I think is a poor free kick. Would have been better if they had have shot and had a shot and then see if they could have like scored from it. And then if not, then at least it would have been a goal kick. They would have had a chance to have got numbers back. This way, they got caught on the counter. 29th minute is where we are. We're sneaking our way to the half an hour mark. And if you are just joining us, it's a game that's only had a few little glimpses, a few little moments. Nothing of any real drama. And at the moment, it remains 0-0, and that's really what the score should be. If we look at expected goals, which gives us an idea as to, you know, looking at the game so far, how many goals should there have been? It actually says 0.03 for Argentina and 0.01 for Croatia. So 0-0 is absolutely the right result at the moment. It's not going to stay that way. And if it does stay that way, then of course we're going to go to penalties. Here we go, Croatia driving forward, trying to find a way. They've not been timid, Croatia. They have been committing players forwards. Ball goes out of play. Croatia's midfield and defence is much better, said DB. Croatia are a better team when it comes to the defence, says Nadula. Every game at the World Cup feels like a WWE Iron Man match. Just watch the last 5 minutes, says Steve. Ball being played forwards. A lot of people, you know, said that the inks... It's so hard when you're, like, so involved, invested, to see a game for really what it is. Like, I can watch the dullest of England games and I'll be fantastically entertained because I'm tense and I'm just thinking, where's the next goal coming from? What can we do? I'm not really thinking as a neutral, obviously. But a lot of people said that the England-France game has been the best game at the World Cup so far. It certainly had full of incident, wasn't it? 2 penalties, some wonderful strikes, plenty of chances, great saves from Pickford and from Hugo Lloris. I could understand that being right up there. Ball being played into the centre. Perisic, here comes Croatia. They've got blue shirts forward. He tries to chip the keeper, but chips it over. Perisic is really upset there. He thought that someone had touched it. It was the wrong option. He just took a little too long on the ball. He tried to dink it over the keeper. Does someone touch it? No. No. Does the keeper touch it? No. Don't know what he was protesting for, but seemingly no one touched that. Finds its way forward. Here's Argentina. Through ball, one-on-one with the keeper. Oh, look at that. And Croatia managed to get the ball away. What have we got? We might have a... Have we got a... Is that a foul? Is it a penalty? Alvarez is flawed. I think we might be an Argentina penalty. Ooh. They need to make sure they're not complaining. The goalkeeper's gone down. It's a yellow for the keeper. It is a penalty. It's a penalty to Argentina. He's not going to change his mind. Kovacic has picked up a yellow. So let's have a look at the replay here. So it's a lovely ball through. So he takes his... he gets his shot off, though. Goalkeeper takes the player out after the ball has gone. Ooh, is that harsh? I don't know. He took his shot. The ball was going towards the goal. Right, Messi with the penalty. Croatia keeper had better save this. Come on, Argentina, said Harith. It is Messi. Messi is stepping up. Lionel Messi. Come on, Argentina, said Harith. Goalkeeper. He's a good keeper. Lots of pressure. Not too much pressure, though, in all fairness. There is lots of pressure, but actually, it's the 33rd minute. It's not the flipping 93rd minute, is it? They're not losing. Steps up, fires it in. It's a wonderful penalty by Messi. It's a wonderful penalty. It's first blood Argentina. It's a wonderful penalty. Yeah, that's great work by Messi. And that is a real problem for Croatia. That is a real problem. Messi scores. It's a nice time to take a penalty, that is. Yeah, he's lifted it. Oof, look at that. Keeper needed to get some more height. He went the right way. He just went too low, the goalkeeper. Messi scores. If it stays like this, I'm going to win 41 quid, said DB. Kane could learn a thing or two from that penalty. A really well-struck penalty, says Martin. Yep. Yeah, I think everyone will have Messi. I mean, who won't have Messi in their dream team? Everyone's going to have Messi in their dream team, aren't they? I would imagine everyone's got Messi, everyone's got Mbappe. So, as good as it is for a dream team situation, I don't know how great it is. The only thing is, if you didn't captain Messi, maybe you probably did. You probably captained Messi today, and then you're going to change it over if it didn't work, I would imagine. 11 World Cup goals in 25 games for Messi, said Harith. Right. No assist. It was a penalty for Messi. Ball is going back to the Croatian keeper. Look, Croatia have played well, you know. They're certainly not out this game, but this makes things hard. The thing is, though, I don't know that Argentina are ever going to really sit back and shut up shop. I don't think shutting up shop is... They'll play defensive, and they've been playing relatively defensive anyway, but I don't think that they will... I don't think they really know how to shut up shop. I'm certainly not expecting them to put 11 players behind the ball now and just take the 1-0. That was almost as good as Harry Kane's first penalty against France, which gave me chills, said Nico. That was a harsh penalty, said Francesco. Retribution said, is there even any Croatian fans in the stadium? I can't see a single one. It is just an absolute sea, isn't it? It's a sea of white and blue. They really believe. They believe that this is their time. Ball being played across. I mean, look, Argentina have had to play... Who have Argentina had to play? They've had to play Australia. They've had to play Netherlands. And now they're having to play Croatia. And that's how they're going to have got to a World Cup final, having lost their first game against Saudi Arabia. But if they win the World Cup, like, people aren't going to say that their path was like super easy or anything like this. Ball being played into the middle, but it goes out. Still a long way to go, though. Yeah, they do have to have an end product. The Croatian end product is atrocious. But they could find a moment of magic. They could find a moment. Oh, I'll tell you what, fine voice right now, though. Fine voice. Here we go, about to play the ball in. It's short, comes out. Tries to whip it into the centre. Ball bounces on the edge of the area. Argentina looking to counter and bring the ball out. Here come Argentina. It's 2 against 2. This is a problem. Good. Oh, it's in. Wow. Wow. Alvarez, that was. Alvarez, I believe that was, just drove forwards, took a shot. Croatia put a tackle in. It doesn't get far enough away from the when they're on form, when they're driving forward, when they're look at this. Look, there's tears. The Argentina. It is a great run. Oh my God! I think it's just Alvarez that picks it up and just drives forwards. Sosa tries to get a foot on it. He can't steer it away. Alvarez just driving forward. It's such an impressive run by Alvarez. So impressive. Just continues to drive forwards. So Alvarez just driving and driving and driving. Ball in the middle gets played around by Croatia. Croatia are going to be absolutely shell-shocked right now. Absolutely shell-shocked. Understandably so as well. This game has collapsed from Croatia. Yeah, it has got away from them. It has absolutely got away from them. So Alvarez again. DePaul takes a shot, bounces off. I tell you what, the scary thing is they are swashbuckling now. They are feeling it. They are in a groove. They are ripping Croatia apart. They're absolutely ripping them apart at the moment. Both on a counter. Hammer Studio said, this is awesome. Is Argentina really going to do it? Looks that way. Right now, I mean, it's so hard to see Croatia getting 2 goals. But a team that lost to Saudi Arabia in the very first game of the World Cup look like they are around 50 minutes away from getting to a World Cup final. Obviously, there's still plenty of time for Croatia, and if they get one, they'll be right back in the hunt, but that second goal is massive. That is massive for Argentina. Ball played into the middle, headed to... Oh, my God, and it just trickles wide. McAllister heads it towards goal. It's a good save. And then the ball sort of runs along the goal. Oh, God. And it just goes wide. Look at that save. Bounces off the Croatian defender. Oh, my God. This Croatian goal is living a charmed life at the moment. It's living a charmed life. That was nearly 3. I mean, I feel like the second might have killed the game. A third kills the game. A third is done. McAllister, so close. So close. Here's Messi then. Messi about to take the corner. Is he about to be a World Cup finalist? It certainly feels like it's going that way. 2 goals. Croatia need to regroup. And last time that Argentina won the World Cup, I think was what? Oh God, when was it? In the 86, was it? Ball going down the line. It's been a long time. Did you use your power captain? I did, yes. Yeah, I had 2 to use, so I went power captain this time, and then 12th person I'll use next time. I'm telling you now, Di Maria is going to score from a corner. Retribution said, yes, it was 86. It's a long time, innit? 86, in all fairness. Not as long as England, 66. But 86 is still a long time for them. Ball coming over to the right-hand side. Comes all the way back to the keeper. Launch forwards. Obviously, they've still got to win a final if they get there. But we're seeing, I mean, what we just saw in this kind of 5 minutes, or say past 10 minutes, has been an Argentina side clicking. This is what Argentina can do when they're fully firing, you know, when they're in a groove, when they're full of confidence. Like, that is devastating. Kovacic, Croatia could really do with getting something back before halftime or just after halftime. They're going to need time to find a second. So they really could do with a first. Quite quickly, shot comes in, gets blocked, goes over wide. Croatia, ball in the middle. Oh, side net him. That looked good. That was a nice opportunity by Croatia, and they will get opportunities. Oof. Shot was nicely blocked. If Argentina-France is the final, France could be a big test as the players are the same level. If it's Argentina-Morocco, then Morocco could play a high-line defense, says Easy99. Croatia is still a good team and they deserve to be here, said Nico. Definitely no. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. All these teams have earned their right to be here. They've all had to win their games, and Croatia had to get past Brazil, for example. So Croatia definitely have earned their right to be here, but at the moment it is obviously not going their way. I would hate to see France win this again in the second time in a row. Same. I would. I've said my list is priority order. Morocco top. I'd love to see them win the World Cup. Then Croatia second. Get revenge for losing the final 4 years ago. Then I would have Argentina, and then at the bottom would be France. Messi, ball in the middle, comes over to the right-hand side. Croatia trying to pick up the ball, but no joy. Messi, ball gets knocked back. It's won back by Croatia. We've got 4 added minutes, and we're into the 47th minute. So 4 added minutes. These two barging into each other. Ball goes back to that Argentine defense. Ball is on the left-hand side, down the line, being chased after by Alvarez. Goes out. Who would France have to play against in order for you to root against them? How about North Korea? Well, the only thing I would say about North Korea is I feel sorry for their people. I feel like their government is obviously horrific. But I mean, like the people themselves, I sort of see them as, dare I say, victims as well. I mean, they are living under, oppression, really. They don't have a voice or anything. So I don't know much about the people of that country. So I don't know. I don't know that even North Korea would be a team that... I suppose the problem with North Korea winning it is that, they would use it maybe as propaganda for how great they are as a country and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know. I really, really do not want France to win the World Cup. Because I don't think anyone has won it twice in a row since the 50s or something. And so it only comes around every 4 years. France have already had chance to celebrate winning the World Cup. The French people have been out in the streets. They've, celebrated. They've had 4 years as world champions. I don't want them to have another 4 years. I really don't. I think I would root North Korea, and hope that maybe this would inspire change. They've played in a World Cup. They've won the World Cup. The eyes of the world are on them. Could it create some dialogue? Could it create change? Could there be some good that would come out of them, like winning a World Cup? I'd probably think about it that way. So I'd probably take North Korea over France. Messi goes down as he tries to weave his magic and deemed to be a foul, but that's the end of the half anyway. I don't know what to say about that. Last time North Korea qualified, they didn't show the games on TV, and the news reported they won 7-0 against Brazil. Is that true? Is that true? I've got 100 to 1 bets going on. I need Croatia to score on one and Gvardiol to be booked on the other, both with Argentina winning. Right, there we go then. End of the half. Argentina 2, Croatia 0. What the flip do Croatia do? I mean, Croatia have not played badly there. For the longest time, we were sat here saying that expected goals was really low. This game has not got going. But, look, Argentina just burst into life. That penalty. Wow. I mean, right now, Argentina's expected goals is 1.57. They've had 5 shots, 4 on target. Croatia have had no shots on target. So 4 shots on target by Argentina, 2 of which have been scored. And they have just looked devastating since the penalty. I mean, the penalty was one of their best, maybe their best moment up until that point. And they got the penalty, they scored, and then since then it's just been one-way traffic. They've looked so good. They've looked so good. You would definitely say that they deserve to be winning this on reflection of that game. I would say up until the 34th minute, though, 0-0 was fair. 0-0 was fair. And then, really, the final part of that, they just really went up some gears. So, 2-0 Argentina at the moment. Possession is with Croatia, but it doesn't mean anything unless you do something with it. They've had no shots on target, Croatia. 4 shots on target for Argentina. 5 shots in total. Both teams have had 2 corner kicks. 3 big chances for Argentina, with one of them being missed. Just great. Just really, really great. It's not really a Messi masterclass. He scored the penalty. But I can't say it's a Messi masterclass. If anything, Alvarez has been more impressive. That second goal is, if Messi had scored that second goal, the world would be wetting itself right now. I don't know that Alvarez is going to quite get the same level of credit, but it's an amazing goal, that second one. This World Cup is like a wrestling storyline. Messi has got a big chance to win his first World Cup in his last tournament. Morocco could be a fairy tale ending to this World Cup. Would you like to win the 2026 World Cup? Well, obviously, I'd like England to win all of the World Cups. So I'd like England to win the 2026 World Cup, but it's going to be hard, isn't it? You know, more teams are going to be involved. It's 4 years down the road. That's 4 years for every nation to make changes, make improvements. You know, England undeniably are much stronger, much better than they were 4 years before, but still not where they needed to be. Still not quite with that killer instinct. So, I don't know. I'd love to know the work that England are going to do over the next 4 years. I really hope the same level of work they did between the last World Cup and this World Cup, I hope they do that and a bit more. Because I sort of feel like there are finishing touches that England need, but there's a bit more work to be done as well. You know, we do not have enough options at centre-back, for example. If you look at the quality of player that Bellingham is, we don't have enough of that type of player. I feel like the 4 years we just had, we need to have that again by the time we get to the 2026 World Cup. But there is definitely a nucleus, a foundation of a team there that should be competitive in 4 years' time for England. Are you looking forward to NXT tonight? Sure. NXT should be interesting. Southgate needs to go, said Camvlogs. Peter said France versus Vatican. I don't know if Vatican have got a team. England do have a lot of quality young players, says Drew. Who? Mbappe could win 2 World Cups by the age of 23, said Easy99. Yeah, that's the scary thing, isn't it? The scary thing is that Mbappe is potentially going to not only be there in 4 years' time, but he'll be there in 8 years' time, and maybe even in 12 years' time when he's 35. I mean, Mbappe at the age of 35 still playing for France in some form or fashion is, you know, clearly not going to be out of the question. He's still got potentially another 3 World Cups. I mean, that means that France are going to be competitive for like 3 more World Cups. Because if you've got Mbappe, then, wow, anything's possible in it. England need to find that type of player. Did anyone else that used Peacock notice a notification spelling in the World Cup as Qatar, says Brian. We don't use it here, so I don't know. We'll have to see. The girl on the Samsung Z Flip 4 is pretty, said Retribution. France has got Mbappe and USA has got the Hanson brothers, says OG. Victor said Argentina have been here before. They've got to keep that foot on the gas pedal. Melissa Rose said Mbappe is very much the next Ronaldo-style player, starting career on the wing, but will end it up front. So, we're just at halftime for those joining us, and really interesting, really interesting, this game. Quite slow to start. Argentina going through the levels as we've got towards the end of the half. They've got their reward as well. You know, we talk about teams being deadly and having that killer instinct. That is exactly what Argentina are showing us. They are showing us that killer instinct. This is what England didn't have. You know, when you go through the gears and you have those moments in the game where you're on top, you've got to do something with it. And look at what Argentina have done with it. 2 goals for Argentina. I can't see Croatia coming back, but you never know, said Martin. Easy money on Argentina. Croatia have been lucky all World Cup, said Josh. Mbappe missed a penalty kick against Switzerland in 2018. So let's not act like the guy is a king, said Charles Two Bronx. He was 19. I sort of feel like he is one of the best players at this World Cup. Even take his name out of it. If you didn't even know who he was, you would say he was one of the best players at this World Cup. Where he's going to finish his career, I really don't know. But I think there's been a lot to admire from him here. I'm not a big fan of him. I mean, like what they've done at PSG to try and keep him, and the power and the money that he's getting and all this kind of stuff, like it's just insane. Like it's insane. The fact that he's got like a say in the transfers at the age of 23. Who is this guy? Like the player power has gone mental. It's gone mental. So I don't agree with like a lot of that stuff, but at this World Cup, he's been very impressive. Next rivals are going to be Mbappe and Haaland. They are crucifying this penalty, says WWE LOL. Yeah, they're not sure about it. Who played that pass for the Alvarez penalty? Don't know. Honestly, don't know. They've not. There's no assist that's showing for on here. You can see that, like, for Messi, there's no assist that's listed. Same with Alvarez as well. They've not listed any assist for it. Francesco said, Haaland playing for England, things would have been real interesting. Oh, my God, could you imagine? Born in England, wasn't he? Born in Leeds, I believe. So he could have played for England. And yeah, you're absolutely right. If Haaland had played for England, that would have been real interesting. Because, you know, we've spoken about how we've not like got that finishing touch. Yeah. God, it's upsetting, isn't it? It's really upsetting. One of the world's great players was born in this country. And he identifies as being Norwegian rather than English. Which I can understand. I totally understand. I mean, he was only born in this country because his dad was over here playing in this country. But, you know, I mean, he is... I get it. I don't even think there was ever a debate, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, maybe there would have been a moment of consideration, but I'm pretty sure that he was always playing for Norway. So it's not one that needs to be really dwelled over too much. Panel debate in the penalty. They're saying the keeper can't go anywhere. The analyst guy says he should move out the way. What's the point in a goalkeeper? James said, I'm ready for next World Cup now. Get Haaland playing for England. Things would have been interesting. If Mbappe is France and beats Messi in the final and Messi raises Mbappe's arm, does he become the immortal Lionel Messi, says Espasit. I'm ready for next year's World Cup. World Cup's not next year. That's true. Don't Knight said there was Norway. He was never going to play for England. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I do take that moment to picture it, it does break my heart. Because, I mean, imagine that. Imagine Kane in, like, the 10 role, because he's very good in that role. He's very good at, like, you know, linking up play. And he's got a great shot on him. Of course, he's a striker, but his assist numbers are insane, Harry Kane. Like, there's been seasons in the Premier League where he's had the most assists as well as the most goals. So you could absolutely play Harry Kane in the 10 and then Haaland in the 9 and then have, like, you know, players behind. Wow, either side of Kane, you could have Saka the one side, Foden the other, Kane in the centre, Haaland as the lone striker, Bellingham, Rice. Still doesn't sort out the defensive problems, but oh my God. Oh my God. We become bona fide, legit World Cup contenders with Haaland as the 9. I mean, you know, it's debatable. England go in saying that they've got a chance to win it. The rest of the world goes, yeah, sure. Yeah, you've got a chance. Yeah, it's coming home. Yeah. You put Haaland in that team, the rest of the world's like, yeah. You have really got a chance. You are legit like one of the favourites now. But not to be. Connor from the Ascension has followed me completely out the blue. He loves your work, James. He loves your dedication to wrestling. It's you. Do you know what? Hang on. Oh, my sound's not working. Oh, there it is. You deserve it, James. Hello, what's this? Welcome to your stream deck. Right, there's our stats. How does this Croatian keeper save 15 shots against us and can't save one against Argentina, says AAA. Argentina are strong. They're doing well. DB said if the keeper comes out and commits to the ball, he needs to at least get some of it, but he didn't. But I can see what the panel is saying. Yeah, I was really split on it because the player got the shot off. He got his shot off. He took the shot, and the ball was going towards the goal. Now, the focus then is what's going to happen with the ball. I understand the goalkeeper coming out trying to save it. He doesn't get it, and he wipes the player out. So, for me, I was not one of those. I didn't feel about the penalty that it was 100%. I didn't feel like, oh my God, that's a penalty. I can see the argument. The keeper comes out, tries to save it. It manages to get past him, and he clatters into the player. The ball has gone, though. The player has completed the action of playing the ball. It's heading towards the goal. I can understand, though, that if that was somewhere else on the field, that would be deemed a foul. I understand that. Goalkeeper's a bit different, though, innit? I do feel like the goalkeeper's a bit different. He's got the ability to use his hands. He is the last line of defense. He is coming out trying to stop the ball. He did take the player out, but he took the player out after the shot had been played. And I understand there's nowhere else for him to, like, go. He can't, like, it's not like he's running alongside him or something like this. Like, he has got to come out and do that. So I do understand the argument. I'm not down. I don't think it's a bad call, though. I don't think that penalty shouldn't have been given. But I can understand why people would be questioning it. But I don't think you can look at that and say that, oh, it's never a penalty. I don't agree with that. But either way, it was given, it was scored, and it's not even the reason that Croatia are losing anyway, because they then conceded a second. So Sosa and Palisic have gone off, and we've got a couple of players coming on here for Croatia in replacement. A couple of substitutions that's going to make them a little more attacking. They got to go for this. Second half coming up now then. Thoughts on the pen? I agree with it. Yeah, I think we just covered it. I can understand why people are not. Just saying that the inside of his leg's not quite right for Messi. Messi just playing around with his thigh. Imagine if Messi misses the final, if they get there. Lol. That'd be hilarious. I would love that. Argentina get to the final, but Messi's injured. They're just asking about, after hearing the panel, do they think it was a penalty? Ali said he can't understand why they don't think it's a penalty. My feeling is, if that happened elsewhere on the pitch, you would give it. But you don't have goalkeepers elsewhere on the pitch, and a goalkeeper is a very unique player. And the shot was played. Yeah, I don't think there's a big controversy there. Have you ever seen a player score with his Song Yadong, said Charles Dubronx. I can't say I have. WWE Wrestling Full Matches said, what will WWE do with Bobby after he was fired? Well, he was fired, wasn't he? So I can only imagine that maybe he goes to SmackDown. So maybe he goes over to SmackDown, or he'll try and get reinstated and maybe have to have a match to try and win his job back. He might even be gone for a little while. He could return at the Rumble as a SmackDown superstar. I mean, I feel like it's all storyline, obviously. I don't feel like that's the end of his career. Right, Croatian free kick here outside the area. Ball is whipped over to the back, but easily claimed. Easily claimed. When is this match over? Probably looking about 45 minutes, to be honest. Because at the moment it's 2-0 Argentina. And it's really hard to see Croatia getting back into this. But of course, they're going to be going for it and they're going to be trying. But to score 2 goals against Argentina is going to be very, very difficult. I think Croatia's best chance here was to get to extra time, get to penalties. Did you see Umarga's son, Zilla Fatu, has started training with Booker T? He's recorded it on his YouTube. Good insight into a first round of training at wrestling school. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I haven't, no. I'll have to check that out, though. Moldy, shout out to you. Hockey 87 said, I say take Messi out and rest him for the final. Brave, though, innit? If Croatia were to score as soon as you did that. Take him out and then Croatia score. And actually, Croatia might even get a bit of a lift by seeing Messi going off. So I think that would be a little gamble. It's a gamble you could take, of course. Maybe if a third goes in, you would do it. Argentina are battling. Shot coming in from distance, straight to the goalkeeper. McAllister is down. The shot came in, and the shot was a bit tame, to be honest. McAllister stretching and seems to be in quite a bit of pain there. Yeah, got clipped in the back of the head, actually. Someone, studs just went into the back of his head. He's back up onto his feet, though. McAllister. It feels like an eternity for Croatia to score 3 goals. You can debate he tips it around the goalie to then chase it into the goal, but he gets taken out, so I assume they're looking at that. Right, ball down the line. For Croatia, and he's all over him. It's a bit scrappy, this one. Lots of little fouls. We're seeing the Croatian supporters obviously looking a bit nervous here. We're into the 50th minute. We've got 40 minutes to go. Of course, there will be some added on time. Moldy said, I just can't see a Croatian comeback. It's hard, and it is hard to visualize. Brozovic has gone off. It's a big substitution. Petrovic has come on instead. That is a big change. Brozovic, that midfield has been absolutely critical for them. I don't know if that's a gamble or if they've been forced into that change, but seeing any of those 3 go off for Croatia is strange. Kovacic, Brozovic, Modric, losing any of them is bizarre because that midfield has been critical for Croatia. Ball is coming across over into the centre. Here's Modric. Knocking the ball forwards, comes over to the left-hand side. Goes down the line. Into the middle, twisting, turning. Kovacic into the centre, not back. Argentina look like they're going to get it. Croatia are building, getting to the edge of the Argentine penalty area, but Argentina get the ball, trying to break away, but no joy. No joy, they didn't get very far. And here come Croatia. Ball into the centre. I was thinking to Brozovic off has just destroyed my bet, said Dortnight. Okay, ball is with Croatia, feeding it forward. Argentina winning the ball back, though. Passing it around. That's lovely work by Argentina. That is lovely work. Chested down, knocked forwards. Lovely little turn. Croatia winning it back, though. Oh, my God, that ball would have been amazing if it had found its way through by Croatia. Ball was played. It actually went past about 4 Argentine players. Just needed to get past 1 more to get through and let a Croatian player through. Just got intercepted. Lovely little turn here. Croatia are really looking. They're doing some good work, you know, Croatia. Buzzing around the Argentine penalty area. Obviously desperate to get this goal and get back into it, but straight into the hands of the Argentine keeper. And so that attack breaks down, but they're really trying some stuff. Brozovic offers destroyed my bets. Did you hear what Capello said about England's loss? He thought Kane shouldn't have took the second penalty and that Pickford should have played more long balls. Well, I don't think that... Well, first of all, he had his chance with England, right? We got nowhere, so I wouldn't be paying too much attention to Capello. I think it's easy in retrospect to say that Harry Kane shouldn't have took that second penalty. The truth is, though, that if he didn't take that second penalty and we didn't score it, you gave it to someone else and they missed, everyone would have then turned around and said it was stupid for Harry Kane to have not took the second penalty. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's the wrong thing. It's the wrong thing. Fortunate, it is what it is. You miss a penalty, you miss a penalty. That's just how it goes, isn't it? It's just how it goes. Ball is played over to the wing. No joy for them there. No joy. Argentina trying to come forward with the ball. Trying to knock it down the line. Being passed around. Croatia winning it back. They've got it in the middle of the park right now, which is perfect for Argentina. In for Argentina. 10 minutes gone in this second half. Ball going down the line. Headed by Croatia into the centre. Knocked across. Looking to try and find a way forwards. Twisting, turning, playing the ball over to Modric. Modric has got it. There's plenty of Argentine players back. You're just waiting for them to at least create a chance. Like, they've had no shots on target here, Croatia. They're having possession, though. That's a lovely ball by Modric. That is a beautiful ball. That was fantastic. That ball going right to the edge of the penalty area. But now Argentina are looking to break. Argentina, edge of the area. Alvarez in the centre. Oh, my God. Croatia living a charmed life. Here's Messi. Messi picks it up. Argentina have broken down the other end. They've countered down the other end. Ball coming over to the left-hand side. A third kills this game, doesn't it? I mean, the game could be dead anyway, but a third absolutely kills this game. De Paul. Here we're seeing Argentina going down, being played in the middle, but cut out there by Croatia. Nico said, blaming Harry Kane for the losses, so 20th century, things are always more complicated. I am not biased, I am from the US, said Nico. Even if Croatia lose this game, they have a third place match to play, said Easy99. That's true. Let's go. Croatia, says the game. Ball is in the middle with Argentina at the moment. And as we said, the second half's been a bit scrappy at times. It has been scrappy. Argentina playing the ball forward, comes back to their defense. Argentina have got this under control at the moment. They're looking quite comfortable. Even the pressure they've had to absorb has been all right. We've still seen no shots on target. Oh, here's Argentina. Shot comes in and a good save. Messi with a shot, and that is a good save. Don't care how much it costs to get in here. Just to be able to watch this is a pleasure. It is true. We are very lucky. You know, if you was to go back 100 years, you'd be hearing about these players, not seeing them. Shot coming in, bounces off a defender. So the fact that we get to see about how great like Messi is and the influence he has, and we can form our own opinions. Ball into the middle, gets brought down, surrounded by players, edge of the area. Croatia are looking at the moment. Ball coming over to the left-hand side. It's on the wing. It's whipped into the middle, but headed clear by Argentina. falls onto the outside of the penalty box, and that trickles out. So that goes straight out of play. England and Croatia should be in a final if possession was the purpose of football, says Peter. Where were those saves in the first half, says Heather. I'm very biased. I'm from the USA. It's all Kane's fault, said TJ. Martin said, Modric is such a fantastic football player. Reminds me of Pirlo. Oh, what a player. What a player Pirlo was. He was someone, I mean, yeah, I agree. He was someone that was just such a wonderful, everything went through him. And the same with Modric, you're absolutely right. Very similar to De Bruyne as well. Like they're these midfield maestros. They seem to be the engine rooms. Everything seems to go through them. Here's Argentina looking to counter. Ball going down the line. Nice little turn. And no one there. I need Messi to get one more goal and 2 in total, said Sticky Buds. Right, well, here's Croatia. We're nearly at the hour mark. 15 minutes have nearly gone in this second half, and still Croatia have not been able to find a goal, a way back in, or even a shot on target. Can Argentina keep Croatia out, though? Like, or will Croatia be able to find a goal? If they get one, that'll give them a big lift. But as much as Croatia could score in this half, of course, Argentina could as well. I just need Otamendi to get booked, and then my Aka will win £125, said Retribution. I need Messi to score one more. There's plenty of bets in the chat at the moment. Ball coming all the way over to the right-hand side. Ball is back. I mean, there's probably a chance that Otamendi could go in the book, of course. There's a lot of pressure being put on this Argentine defence. We've still got plenty of time. Here's Modric. Ball in the middle. Oh, foul. That looked like a foul, and it is a foul. It's going to be a free kick to Croatia just outside the penalty area. They need to do something with this. They need to do something with this just outside the penalty area. So, yeah, it looks like we are going to be seeing substitution. Martinez is going to be coming on for Argentina. Going to shore up that defense a little bit. Paredes is coming off, so they're losing some from the midfields. They're just going to strengthen that back line a bit more. So Paredes is coming off and Martinez is coming on. Manchester United might have a World Cup winner coming back to their club. Right. Please, Croatia, get this kick. Score at least one for your pride, says Heather. Well, ball is played into the middle, headed towards goal, bouncing around. Keeper tries to clear. Argentina get it away. I tell you what, it really just needed a Croatian player to get on the end of that, rifle that home. Yeah, it was a real scramble there. Here come Croatia trying to burst forwards. Enhanced Odds bet builders don't offer a cash out. It sucks, said DB. Okay, Argentina on the ball. We've got 28 minutes left to go. That was a good opportunity for Croatia, but again, they just could not do anything with it. And still, not a single shot on target for them. And we're in the 63rd minute. Here's Argentina. They're on the ball, but they're really struggling to find a way forward. Ball is played over to the right-hand side, and it goes straight out. Harif says, come on, Argentina. Imagine Alvarez turning up at City with his World Cup winners medal and then sitting on the bench. True. Here we go, bursting forward. They got Palestri as well. I mean, Palestri doesn't really play, does he? But we do have Palestri that has played for Argentina. He's part of this squad. Got to think being part of a World Cup winning squad's got to be good for a young player's development. Training with these players on a daily basis for this World Cup. Like, that's got to be good for Palestri. Right, we've got... Okay, we've got a free kick here to Argentina inside the Croatian half. So far, 8 shots on goal, 6 on target for Argentina. Croatia, 6 shots on goal, but none on target. Ball going all the way back to the goalkeeper for Argentina, launching it high. Gets to the halfway line, headed forward by Perisic. Ball bouncing around. And it's hooked into the centre. Billie Eilish is going to play at the SoFi Stadium. Some fans have sat in line since November 30th. What? What? To see Billie Eilish? I mean, she is a massive star, but... Jeez. I don't think she's that good. Not go 2-week camping out good, but fair play. That's a big gig, isn't it, for her? SoFi Stadium, that's massive. 3 Pump said, I hope Morocco keeps it a good match. Ball is over on the left-hand side. It's being played into the edge of the area. Finds its way into the penalty box for Croatia, but lots of pressure and they get driven back out. And that ball finds its way going all the way back. Tried to rebuild by going down the right-hand side, but it's nicely intercepted. And here come Argentina. Here comes Alvarez. Alvarez having a little look, seeing what options he's got. He plays the ball over to the right-hand side. Messi is in the middle. Alvarez is over on the left. Ball is dinked up, cleared. Doesn't look like anything's going to come of that. And good work that is by Croatia. Bringing the ball away. Gets barged off the ball and the Croatian player wins a free kick. What do you like? West Brom, Wolves, or Birmingham or Villa? Out of them, I'd probably go Birmingham. Probably go Birmingham. I didn't really have a connection with Wolves because never used to really go there when I was young. Probably went there a couple of times, but we was always going to Birmingham. I didn't know anyone in my family that supported West Brom. There was some that supported Birmingham and some that supported Villa. But I always thought that, like, being named after the city always meant that I felt that Birmingham represented the city more than Aston Villa that was just named after a part of Birmingham. That's named after Aston, which is in Birmingham. Whereas Birmingham is named after Birmingham. So, probably Birmingham. If I had to support one of those. And Jude played there as well, didn't he? So that just strengthens that. Right, we are in the 67th minute. We're into the 67th minute. We are seeing David Beckham is watching this one. I wonder who he's rooting for. So 68th minute right now. Ball being launched forwards, and it's really hard to see Croatia getting back into this. If there's a third, it's game done, of course. Here's Croatia. Beckham has been at every knockout game, said Retribution. Ball going back to the goalkeeper. I swear some people have gambling addictions, says James. It's obviously something people enjoy doing. There's some mental bets, like, but I would never think to book on, like, bet on bookings and stuff like that. If ever I was to bet on a game, I would always just bet on, like, who wins, maybe the score. But there's so many markets now, like how many corners, how many offsides, how many throw-ins. Like, you can bet on so many different things. It's crazy. Ball goes down the line. Here's Argentina. Goes out. Does anyone know where the next World Cup is? Yes, it's in Canada, United States, and Mexico, but largely the United States. But sadly, it's not until 2026. This festival of football is only every 4 years, which is a real shame. England will have certainly an eye on the Euros, though. Problem is, we're going to have to deal with France at the Euros, who knocked us out. I think it's in Germany, so got to think that Germany are going to have a decent team. That's lovely work. That's the third goal. Alvarez scores, and it's all about Messi. That is all about Messi. Messi's footwork there is incredible. And that is it for Croatia. That is a beautiful goal. That is a beautiful goal. Messi is lighting up this World Cup. Wow. That's got to be it, innit? Look at this. He picks it up. He goes past the defender. Weaves, goes round him, finds his way on the inside, pulls the ball back. How he is able to do that against such a highly regarded defender. That's Gvardiol, who he's just made look so average. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. Incredible. That is amazing. Messi goat. I am checked out, says Heather. Game's over. Let's go home, folks. This is it. Argentina are in the final. Who do they play? Who do they play? Is it going to be France or is it going to be Morocco? We're going to find out tomorrow. I hope it's Morocco. Hope it's Morocco. Argentina versus Morocco. If Messi wins, that's massive. You know, the world will celebrate. I don't give a flip, but the world will celebrate. And if Morocco wins, wow. How incredible. How incredible for an African nation to win the World Cup. That was brilliant, said Sticky Buds. 0 for Croatia. Not even one. Not even one shot on target. It's not even a case that they haven't scored a goal. There's not even a shot on target. Gotta say, though, for Argentina to not only beat Croatia, but beat Croatia so convincingly. There's the booking for Otamendi. Otamendi picks up a yellow. I think was that Retribution that was hoping for that. Heather said, please, Morocco, go through. We've got to have an underdog win. Yeah, I would love for Morocco to do it. Otamendi, yellow. Well done to Retribution. Right, they're making a change. Messi score and assist. Alvarez to score, but had Brozovic and Modric for one shot on target. Yeah, I tell you what, if you had Alvarez, you've done well here. I was really tempted to bring him in, but I went with Giroud instead, and it looks like that might have backfired. Right, here we go. Free kick to Croatia, but it's quite a distance out. Oh, he went for a shot on that, and that's easy. That was too far out for that. Yeah, that was way too far out. 10 points for Messi in the league, said Wrestle with Andy. Wrestle with Andy, shout out to you. Hope you're well. Dort Knight said, I have Alvarez and Messi in my team. Gambling is bad. People don't do it. It won't get you anywhere. Drugs are bad. At least Argentina get their revenge on Croatia for the 2018 World Cup. Croatia passing the ball around, and they've only got 18 minutes. There's a shot there that goes straight over. Now I'm salty. Stupid Croatia, said DB Mikey. Yeah. Yeah, the whole stadium went bananas. Man, they're in dream world. After losing their first game to Saudi Arabia, now here they are on the verge of seeing their team go into the World Cup final. DePaul is going off in the 74th minute. So he's going off. Palacios is coming on. Yeah, Palacios is coming on. Alvarez is off. Dybala is on. So apparently, yeah, I was just trying to think then. We haven't seen much of Dybala. We haven't heard of him at all, but they're just saying he hasn't played in this tournament. So it looks like they're giving Dybala a bit of a run out. Yeah, we really don't need loads of extra time here, do we? You know, if we're going to get to 90 minutes. Messi is the best footballer. Let's go Argentina, says the Pagni brothers. Legend Killer, hello, hope you are well. Harry said Alvarez off, Dybala on. DePaul out and Palacios in. Croatia versus France will be a great third place playoff, said Steve. Nuka, hello, hope you are well. What did you think of Paddy's robbery? No, I just thought it was a robbery. Yeah, I didn't agree with it. I didn't. I understand what he was saying about how it's scored with by damage and not by volume. And Paddy said that he did more damage. So I do understand what he's saying, but it's... If everyone watching says it's a robbery, then you've either got a problem with the judges or a problem with everyone's understanding of how fights are scored. And that, I mean, it could be... why we don't hear from the judges after, I don't think the judges need to be questioned and all this, but I think there could be an explanation as to what they saw as to why they scored it the way they did. I don't understand why we don't get that. We could easily just hear from the judges for them to come out and just say, well, this is what I saw. I saw more damage in the second round, which is why I get, for them to just explain. Because that might help with the education of the viewers. Everyone, even fighters, said that should not have been a win for Paddy. So, if it is that the judges are scoring to a different criteria than what the viewers and even fighters themselves aren't under the impression is how it's being scored, there's clearly work to be done there. There's a lot of work that needs to be done with that. But nothing ever happens, does it? This just keeps going on and on and on. Of course, Paddy's going to come out and say, of course that he won. Of course he's going to do that. But to me, it didn't seem right. I don't think it's UFC, though. I don't buy this being the UFC trying to protect Paddy or anything. I think that the judges have scored it as they've seen it. Half the population of Israel, a smaller population than Kuwait, a smaller population than El Salvador. It is jaw-dropping that they have been able to reach a World Cup final and then a World Cup semi. It is true. It is true. They have been able to create this wonderful set of players. WWE is going to come back to Liverpool, this time Raw Superstars, and I'm going to go with my dad said Lou. Awesome. Have a great time. I'm sure you will. Morocco will play a high defense against France. They will let France have possession and Morocco will counter. Nuka said it's why I said a robbery. The YouTube said it's a robbery. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't need to listen to YouTube. When people in the live chat are, that watch on a weekly basis are saying it's a robbery. When things popping up on social media are saying it's a robbery from like other fighters. I think if you're hearing from other fighters saying that it's a flipping robbery, like that's all the feedback I need to see. Croatia is good at many sports. They're a nation of tall people, said Smithster. Flybirds Fly said, that's why I always say boxing or UFC, don't let it go to the judges. Yep. If you let it go to the judges, it's out of your hands then, isn't it? You have no control over how someone else has seen the fight. So, but I think there needs to be some work done because, as I said, it could be that they scored it on damage and that people need to be kind of better educated in how UFC is being scored. But that's not a knock of viewers because I think it's a robbery as well. But I think that it's a genuine problem. Like, how does a takedown compare to someone having 5 more significant strikes? How does someone having 10 more significant strikes compare to someone having a broken nose? Like, it's so hard to compare these things. What's a takedown worth? Like, no one has the answer to these questions. No one knows, which makes scoring fights so difficult. All you've got to go off is, like, past judging decisions. And now those judging decisions don't seem to even be matching up with old judging decisions. So it seems like, as Paddy said, judging has changed and it's all damage focused now. So there needs to be work done. It's a right mess. All goes out of play. What are your thoughts on the 18-year-old kid that went on Saturday? I don't know that he's 18. He's amazing, but he doesn't look 18 to me. But for his age, if he is, he's amazing. Modric is coming off for Croatia. I think this has got to be that's got to be a conceding that this game is done, isn't it? I really don't think you're taking Modric off unless he's injured. Got to concede that it's done. I mean, this is 3-0. There's a lot of disappointment. That is disappointment. I mean, there's got to be some pride there. This hasn't been even close, is it? I mean, this hasn't been even close. They've had one shot on target. That was that free kick, which was very tame. And it found its way through to the keeper. That has been their only shot on target, Croatia. If you're not going to be able to create like goals and shots on target, then you need to keep it 0-0. So even that first penalty seems to be the one that would that has sent them home. But the second goal, killed them. The third has really put the nail in the casket. And now we are just 8 minutes away from the inevitable, really. It's a shame that this semi-final's lost its drama. But Argentina aren't going to care about that. Nico said, all respect goes to Modric, I feel for him. That's got to be his final World Cup appearance as well, hasn't it? I don't expect Modric in 4 years' time. Croatia, Morocco, they'll meet again on Friday, said Peter. People have nicknamed Roadhus Jr., the 18-year-old kid, as the handsome Squidward. Wow. Little dink up, little shot, ball goes wide. Some lovely play by Argentina. Argentina have been very aggressive in this game, said Abdu. Ledge Killer said, I'm doing great, just watching the FIFA World Cup. Right, ball being played over to the left-hand side. Knock forwards. Goes out. Going to be throw him. Goes down the line. Knocked into the middle. Gets played back. So here's Argentina. We got 7 minutes to go. Edge of the area. Oof, trying to weave their way through again. But Croatia able to stop that, putting a roadblock in the way. So, right, we've got lovely counter here by Croatia. They're trying to find a way of at least getting a goal, at least getting back into this, but even that's broken down now, and it looks like Argentina are looking to counter themselves. So much, I don't know what you do if you're Croatia. I mean, the game's gone, but you can't really ever give up, can you? This is a World Cup semi-final. You've got to keep fighting and working. So they can't stop, keep attacking. They can't just sit back, really, at this stage. They've got to keep going for it, but problem is that's leaving space for Argentina to counter them. World Cup on Sunday, of course. Don't forget, we've got the World Cup on Sunday. We are going to be live for that. Ball being played into the middle. Centre gets headed wide. Modric did well. Farewell to that legend, said Leon. The final is going to shape up to be a classic. Well, Messi has got there. Messi has got there. This is what a lot of people wanted. Argentina are going to win this. I hope France don't win it again, said Justin. Here they're playing the ball in. Croatia headed towards back post. Oh! Back post, but there was no one there. Oh. I could see an advert bet on Argentina to win 3-0, and it was 20-1. Nice odds. Nice odds. 20-1. Who do you go with Islam versus Alexander? I've got Alexander because I always go wrong with my guesses. I think it's going to be really hard. I mean, it's hard to... It's going to be a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. Probably leaning towards Islam. I think he got past Charles Oliveira. Oliveira is been unstoppable. Him going up against Volkanovski, it's such an interesting fight. Such an interesting fight. It's really hard to call. But I think might have to go with Islam. Unless Volkanovski's going to use his power. Because he's got real pop in his punches, hasn't he? But he's a lower weight than Islam. So I don't know how that's going to translate. Right, we are in the 87th minute. France and Argentina would both be playing for their third World Cup. Morocco would be the first African winners. Yep. The French team was steamrolling over people on Saturday like they didn't care. Is Argentina going to tolerate that? I mean, look, it's going to be hard. The final, I mean, if it's Morocco, we could see a repeat of this. It could be very easy for Argentina. If they get that one goal against Morocco... I feel like if you score against Morocco, the floodgates could open. I think Morocco and Croatia are very similar. So I think, like, Morocco are defensively very hard to score past, same as Croatia. But once you get that first, the second can follow, the third can follow. Might watch the Inui fight, says Davids. Breezy said, don't be sad for Croatia. They've put tears on some people's faces as well, says Breezy. Who scored the third goal? Was it Alvarez or Messi? It was Alvarez. Messi with the assist. So, 88th minute. We're into the final stages. I just hope there's not loads of added on time. We really don't need it. Argentina are the England of South America. No love lost with the neighbours. Ronaldo's greatest accomplishment is being compared to Messi, says Watson. Here's Argentina on the ball then. Looks like this match might end with just that one shot on target by Croatia. it's been I mean, like, for the first half an hour, Croatia was looking really good, but as we said, as soon as they conceded that one goal, it really very quickly, very drastically went downhill. Don't be sad for Croatia. It's going to be Islam all day, said Darren. Here's Croatia. They take a shot. They do get a second on target, but it was very tame. It was very tame. They are having a go. Croatia have got to go home. Yes. Yes. We're in the 89th minute, so we are just moments away. Don't forget, we are going to be back tomorrow. I mean, we are back later tonight with NXT anyway, but and the New Day are champs, so I'd imagine there's going to be quite a buzz around that. But we are back tomorrow with Morocco against France. That's going to be big. Very big. Winners are going to go on to play Argentina in the final. And then, of course, we are doing the third place playoff on Saturday and the final on Sunday. 3 games left at this World Cup. That is it. 3 games left. Yeah, they said maybe this was just a bit of a game too far after going the distance. You know, maybe there just wasn't quite as much in the legs. But I don't know if that was the problem, to be honest. They conceded the penalty. And I think the conceding that goal really deflated them. The only thing I would say is that they did concede against Brazil as well, and they managed to find a way back into the game. It is true they have not looked as good here. But is that Argentina stepping up, maybe? I mean, this has been a very good Argentina performance. This is very much the Argentina people feared before this tournament started. This is why Argentina were second favourites. Ali McCoy said, are we seeing the winners of the World Cup? Is that what this is? 5 added minutes. What's your feeling the final is going to be a 3... What is your feeling that the final is going to be a 3 o'clock kickoff here? What do you mean? Seems to be a good time. I don't even know. Is it 3 o'clock kickoff UK time? I mean, that's fine for the UK. Eastern time is like 10 o'clock in the morning. That's not too bad. To get up for 10 o'clock if you're a fan in Eastern time. Maybe it's a bit harsh on the West Coast, because I think that's 7 in the morning. It's a bit early, isn't it, for a Sunday? They maybe could have made it like a bit later. As to be honest, I think the priority should be for the nations that are in it. Do you know what I mean? If you don't want to be in a World Cup final and it be in the middle of the night for your country. So I don't know what time it'll be in Argentina. Not that it's really going to matter, because everyone's going to be watching it regardless. I can't imagine that it's going to be too much of a problem whatever time, but hopefully it's going to be a good time for them. But who is a good comeback fight for McGregor? Needs to. It's a real hard one, that, because it needs to be. I don't know what you do. I mean, do you do someone like Chandler, which is going to be a real test and a firefight, or do you give him someone a bit easy, a tune-up fight first? You probably should give him a tune-up first. So you might need to just throw him someone that's maybe even outside of the rankings. Do you remember he fought Cowboy before, who was a legend but very beatable? Like, maybe you'd have to go with someone along those lines before giving him, like, a top name. Or maybe you just give him, like, a champion. Do you know what I mean? Conor against Leon Edwards would be interesting if you was to do that. Be a massive fight for Leon Edwards. I think Conor is at welterweight now. I think he kind of walks around at a bigger weight than lightweight. And Leon Edwards, I mean, I don't know that Leon Edwards is as scary as Kamaru Usman. So, yeah, that'd be a really interesting fight. I'd love to see Conor versus Leon Edwards. I'd love to see that. And it'd be for the title, and it would be red panty night for Leon Edwards. There's Modric. He's got his head down. Hello, Austin. Hope you're well. The priority is NFL. World Cup early. Keep NFL on schedule, says Alan. Martin said, I was never interested in the third and fourth place playoffs. Ball is being played forwards. Retribution said, I just thought of something. Do you know during Olympics how athletes do gymnastics in the bedroom? Do you think fans at World Cup do that in hotels? I have no idea. I would imagine there's probably some of it that goes on. I don't know if it'll be... Probably. I don't know if it would be as much as in the athletes' village, but... Ball is in the centre. Played forward. Argentina in the final minute then. Argentina about 50 seconds away from going to the World Cup final. World Cup final. No extra time. No penalties. 3-0. Very impressive. That shot of Modric was brutal. So sad, says Heather. Give him Paddy. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like Paddy and Conor would be a great fight to make, but I don't know that Paddy would want it yet. But he can't wait too long, because I don't know how long Conor's going to be sticking around for, to be honest. So he might have to just take it whenever it comes. Shot goes over by Croatia, and that might be their last kick of this World Cup. Is it really going to be Leon Edwards against Masvidal? I think I would have preferred Colby Covington. Well, I've heard it's going to be... Leon Edwards and Usman. Right. Luka Modric departs. Messi will get the opportunity. Look at that. There's disappointment. There's Modric. And I think that was Di Maria that came over. Emotional celebrations here by Argentina. They've made the final. It is not the same final as 4 years ago. 4 years ago, France versus Croatia. It will not be a repeat of that. It is going to be Argentina that get through to the final this time. Resolved. Yes, it is. There we go. Kind of a key for us to depart, I think. Right. We're done. Appreciate everyone joining us. I hope you enjoyed this semi-final. It was a bit flat, to be honest. I think the first part of it was really cagey. We didn't get many chances before the goals came. And then really once the goals came, it seemed to... Both of those goals came so quick. It really felt like they killed off Croatia within that 5 minutes at the end of the first half. But we're seeing Messi. He's got a big smile on his face. There's not over-the-top celebrations. I think mentally, the team has probably known for quite a while that they were going through. So it's probably sunk in as they've been playing. So we're not seeing this big eruption of joy from the players. There's smile on their faces. But they know that there's more work to be done here. They're very happy, of course, of getting through. But we're not seeing crazy scenes or anything on TV at the moment. But it is Messi that's going to be going through to the World Cup final. And he has got a big, big, big opportunity right now to add a World Cup to his name. And what that does for his legacy, I genuinely don't know. Where that puts him in the pantheon of Argentina players and, more importantly, world players, I don't know. But if he wins it, he's in the conversation anyway. But if he wins it, he's going to be very much in the conversation for greatest player of all time. I'd imagine there's a few tears being shed by Ronaldo fans this evening. But hey-ho, it is Argentina that are through. So we'll find out tomorrow. Who do they play? Is it France or is it Morocco? So we're back tomorrow for that game. Appreciate the support. I will see you then. And don't forget, we are back later tonight with NXT as well. Bye for now.